904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
Discover luxury on your terms at Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville. Drive away today in style.
Boasting North Carolina's largest selection of Cadillacs, we have your dream car waiting.
Experience the future with Cadillac Lyric, redefining luxury electric vehicles at the starting price of $44,988.
With over 50 to choose from, and this exclusive offer, the luxury of a Cadillac is more attainable than ever.
And rest assured, every Cadillac is backed by our dedication to outstanding customer service.
Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, plus tax tag title $899 admin fee and resist all.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
It's wins, losses, and predictions all day on 1010XL. Today's review of the NFL schedule is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, and Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors.
If you're a business owner and want to learn about federal, state, or local government contracts, plan to attend a free online webinar May 28th. The Florida Apex Accelerator, in partnership with UNF, provides expert guidance and consultations at no cost. The Apex Accelerator program can make selling to the government less complicated. Attend a free coffee and contracting webinar May 28th. Register at unf.edu/SBDC. Then select Training and Event tab.
Stevie Beatrice from Beatrice Plumbing here. A lot of plumbing companies say a lot of things. We focus on what customers say. Like who a few weeks ago, Donna, said the entire experience was the best fix-it experience she ever had. Or Chris, whose hot water went out on a Saturday and he thanked us for getting it fixed that night. Because that's the difference when you hire a real plumber. They show up to fix the problem. So next time you need a plumber, remember Beatrice Plumbing. Because real plumbers fix problems real fast.
English Premier League Soccer returns this summer. It's Wolves versus West Ham here at Everbank Stadium as they compete for the first trophy of the season, the Stateside Cup, July 27th. Tickets as low as $35 at statesidecup.com.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Coogan Nation, time to rise and shine and start your day with Duval Sports Media Big Steppers. Dan Hicken.
You know it!
Jeff Prosser.
It's a big deal.
Gosh, it sure is a big deal.
And E to the T.
E.T. is in the booth.
Rise and shine, Googans, go time on a Thursday morning. It's a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. The schedule has now been customized, so to speak, after pouring through the data, after plotting the itinerary. I mean, I guess I'm left with this. Super Bowl, baby, 17-0. Maybe not. It's
simmer down.
Oh, you're just hopping right on me with a simmer? Look, I find it comical yesterday, the amount of people that don't understand that the opponents have been set in stone since the final game of the NFL season.
Right.
Let's be honest. It can make a smidge of a difference. It can make just a tiny bit of difference, I think, the order in which you play the games. I think we make too much of that. Remember last year? Look at last year. Jags had that really tough midseason stretch, right, where they were going to have to go play at New Orleans and at Pittsburgh. Now, if I told you last year at this point, did you think the Jaguars would have a better success at New Orleans, at Pittsburgh back-to-back, or versus the Bengals, versus the Ravens at home back-to-back? Right? Your natural inclination would be that those home games back-to-back would bring better success. Nope, 0-2 in those, 2-0 in the others. So I don't think that the order matters a ton. I mean, it matters. And we're gonna parse through that here as we go through this schedule game by game. Have a little fun with it. But just to see the reaction, so-and-so's schedule is hard. So-and-so's schedule. Bro, we've known who the teams are. We've known. And before we get into, every single step along the way, I think the highlights are pretty simple when the schedule comes out. What do you look for? What's the first thing you look for, ET, when the schedule comes out?
Primetime games.
Fine, primetime games. That's the first thing you look at. So let's just check some boxes here. We'll have more fun with the schedule as we go through the morning. I've seen various numbers of our friends of the station, put out their game-by-game predictions, including our man Ship. We come at you like a spider monkey, Ship. But covering the Jags for SI.com, John Shipley has done his best to predict. Ship's kind of like me. He went all in last year, right? I will forever hold my hat on. One dude here predicted a winning record 2 years ago. One dude here at 1010XL.
Yeah?
Yeah, this guy right here. They laughed at me. They lampooned me for 2 days, ET.
They pointed.
Coming off of that 3-4 team with Trevor in year one. Hey, I get optimistic this time of year. So will my prediction probably shade one way, maybe one more game toward the positive? Yeah, it will. Listen, why am I going to be less than optimistic now? I'll save that for some, December collapse. Trust me. Catch me last year in the middle of December and ask me, was I predicting Jaguars wins? But no, man, fully healthy and refocused and ready to go. This team still has a ceiling we can all be proud of. I'll get to my own personal thoughts on how we go game by game, and we'll share some of these other opinions as well. No team will travel more than the Jaguars this year. Just a ton of 30,000 miles, I think, overall. Including, just one trip, but 2 trips to London. But ET, I'm sorry, let me check your box for you. I thought it was, you'd like to get one of those at home. You're putting your team in front of the nation. You couldn't put it in 2 tougher spots than where the Jaguars have landed with their primetime games. First and foremost, Thanksgiving is primetime. Yeah, you'll be eating leftovers when you watch the Jaguars play Thanksgiving weekend. I don't know what we got so just sure that the Jags will be playing on Thanksgiving against the Lions, but I tell you what's happened. It used to be, ET, that the morning afternoon games, they flip-flop year to year from CBS to Fox. So in certain years, Detroit would be hosting an AFC team. This is one of those years that if they were still going, like you look at the 4:30 game, it's Dallas and the Giants. Used to be back in the day, you would get an AFC team in one of those 2 games. Either an AFC team would go to Dallas, and that game would be on the AFC network, in this case CBS, or the AFC team would go to Detroit in the early game, and that game would be on the, quote, AFC network, CBS. But, no, they went all NFC there in those early morsel games. I believe it's Bears, Lions, and Giants, Cowboys. So, the Jaguars on Thanksgiving Day weekend will be playing on Thanksgiving Day weekend, not on Thanksgiving Day. But here are the primetimers, and we got 2. That's not bad, is it? You okay with 2?
That's what I expected.
Right. And by the way, the two London games count. They count. It doesn't feel prime time, and I know the audience is left. There's still certainly a large population that's in church on Sunday mornings at 9:30. I get it. But that's still, when you're the only game in town or on TV, those London games to me feel a lot like the Saturday afternoon games when you get late in the season. Those are also primetime games. You're the only game, the national TV game. So sometimes it's easy to forget, because we go every year to London, that those games are, carry some exclusivity with them as well. And this year, the fact that they're both on network TV, in this case, the NFL Network, Makes it feel a little different than you got to, like, stream it on Yahoo or ESPN Plus. You get sketchy coverage sometimes, or you're traveling and it drops out. So, that being said, here's where we land when it comes to the prime time. Pretty early out of the gate, September 23rd, third game of the year, Jaguars at Buffalo. Monday Night Football. Bonum, bum, bonum, chick, 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 bonum, bum, bonum. If you're of a certain age, that song will still make you, that little tune will still make you run through a wall. So at Buffalo, I believe that's a Monday night, like multiple game Monday nighter. We get a 7:30 start. That's awesome. I look for little victories, ET, a 7:30 start.
No, that's a victory for both of us.
And that's for sure. I'll give you another victory. I like this. Some people don't. And I understand early in the year it can be hot, although the NFL didn't do us any favors when it comes to home and away. More on that in a second. But all of the home games this year are at 1 o'clock. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I peeped that.
Yeah, no 4:30s. Now, if something could get changed or shifted around here, depending on where you stand. But all 1 o'clock home games. All right, so the first primetime game, and the true primetime, Sunday night, Monday night are the biggest two to me. Thursday's kind of gaining. I thought Thursday took a little bit of a step back this year. I looked at the Thursday sched. You know, the games aren't as popping as they have been some years. It seems like the way Thursday goes, they throw out a dog Thursday schedule, and then they make this big proclamation that we're going to change that for the sanctity of our broadcast partner Prime, and then they'll throw in a bunch of really good games on Thursday. It felt like we had that last year, and now this year I'm back to Carolina, the only team didn't get a primetime game, by the way. Well deserved, Carolina. Meanwhile, you got the Giants and the Bears all over the daggone place on primetime, and two of the worst teams in the NFL a year ago, although with compelling storylines for sure. So anyway, that's Trevor Lawrence. That's Josh Allen. Trevor 2-0 against the Bills, right? Beat him in our Josh Allen game here in Trevor's rookie year, and then beat him last year in London. Did we play Buffalo in between? I don't believe we did. We play them in we didn't play them, right? No, not in 2022, not the playoff year. So. Didn't play Buffalo. Feels like we play Buffalo every year, man. It just matches up. Either we play their division or we finish in the same spot they do, and therefore they fall on the schedule. But at Buffalo, Week 3, Monday Night Football, 7:30 kick. I like that, but it's a tough spot. I don't know what the numbers say. I don't know if it's any harder to win on the road in prime time than it would be on Sunday afternoon at 1. In some cases, you may get the attention of the underdog a little bit more, and actually, you might want to play in prime time if you're going to be in that position. I'm thinking back late to last year. Remember the Titans went down to Miami and won? Now, if they're just playing an old yawner Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock game, maybe it doesn't work that way. But when you know every eyeball in America is tuned to you. Anywho, we'll see if at all those kinds of factors play into things. But the Jags are at the Bills in a Monday nighter. And then this will be a nice one. Middle of the year, November 3rd. For the Jaguars, it is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th game. Halftime. Jaguars, Sunday Night Football. At the Eagles. Where'd Doug Peterson coach again? There's all kinds of intriguing matchups. The NFL is so rife with storylines. It's like a dadgum reality show, is soap opera for sports fans. I mean, you can point to you got the Harbaugh brothers matchup. You got the matchups of the new rookie quarterbacks. You got last year's one pick against this year's one pick. You got, this player against his old team. Every week there's something. Just in addition to the rich storylines. All right, so we checked that box of primetime games. It will be September 23rd at the Bills. That's a Monday nighter. And in the middle of the season, November 3rd, at the Eagles, Sunday Night Football. Doug Peterson makes his return. Jaguars played up in Philly in Pete's first year, and we lost, 29-21. Remember, Trevor, it was raining. Trevor had probably 4 or 5 picks or turnovers. That was 29-21. 29-21 loss. Let's see if Peters can have better luck going back to Philly this time. What's the second thing you look at, E? Or is that it for, London probably, what we always know now?
Well, when I look at the primetime games, I look to see if it's home or away. And I peeped that both of them are away primetime games.
Yeah. I look at that. Then I always look at the opener. And I actually kind of look at the first 2 weeks. How can you come out of the gates? We're doomed, and this stat gets fired up every year. Even in a 17-game schedule, 0-2 is not a promising start if you're wanting to be a playoff team. Certainly those odds can and do get bucked, but you don't want to start 0-2. And even in a long NFL season, you don't want to start 0-2. Jags got it really tough out of the gates. We'll get to that and more schedule details when we come back on the other side. How does some of our other media brethren see the season shaking out? Listen, if you think I'm not going to go game by game and give you what I think the record is, yeah, of course I am. We'll do that a little bit later as we get up and rolling. I'm sure you've done that already. Many of you put the W's and the L's, and we'll play along. We'll go interactive. Curious what y'all think's going to happen. I tend, it's funny, before the season begins, I tend to run more optimistic than folks, and then once the season begins, you get famous Prosser rants on Monday morning. It's kind of how that goes. But I will say this, just as a spoiler, no favors out of the gates. This schedule sure looks set up for the Jags to stumble in the first quarter. 3 of the first 4 games at the Dolphins, at the Bills, at the Texans. Oof. Dolphins last year, ET, were they a playoff team?
No.
Oh, they were.
They were?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, they got knocked out early.
Yeah, they went and lost to Kansas City.
That's it.
They may have won a game before that, a wild card game, right? Kansas City was the top. I don't know. No, they weren't tops. Yeah, they lost first round to Kansas City. Cleveland, were they a playoff team?
Yes.
Yeah. Went down to Houston and lost. The Bills, were they a playoff team?
They were.
Oh, yeah. You bet they were. They won the East again. And the Texans, pretty sure they were a playoff team. They punked us out of our division title.
Sure did.
First 4 games against playoff teams from last year, 3 of those 4 on the road. We might need to have like the reverse of what happened last year happen for this to be a playoff team. In other words, this could be a team looking at this schedule, that starts 1-3, maybe 4-6, and then have to get hot down the stretch. It's got 2 really meaty, difficult 4 or 5 game stretch to it. Got 2 really difficult 4 game stretches. One is within a 5 game period. Other than that, it's a manageable schedule, and I think it sets up at the end to earn some interest in all the work you've been putting in, because at the end of the season, the schedule gets more manageable. Home games start to show up. Listen, when you play 3 of your first 4 on the road, all 3 against playoff teams, then you're going to get a little boost from some home games coming up. I get great comfort out of what the Jags did going and playing in London last year and winning both those games, the one they were supposed to win and the one in which they were an underdog. So I like having that little back-to-back. I think it's a big advantage. I think it's a big advantage over their opponents. The first game will officially be the road game. So much like last year, the Jags will play a game, and then they'll get to stay in London, start working on the next opponent. In this case, it'll be the Patriots, and then watch their opponent have to fly in and just, get ready and play a game within 3 or 4 days. It's funny to see how these teams switch it up. Some will fly over there on Monday, spend all week. Some will fly in on Friday and act like it's a regular game week. But more on the schedule, game-by-game predictions and more as we move through. And, of course, 1010XL and the social media team here. What'd you think of the Jags schedule release? Did you check that out yet?
No.
It's like cartoonish, man. That doesn't appeal to me. Last year's I thought was really cool. They made like a little mini movie, brought in a Hollywood producer, Jaguar fan.
Oh, it's this X-Men thing.
Yeah, see, that's not my style, bro. I mean, I'm sure that's appealing to a lot of people out there. I don't know, man. Is Comic-Con an NFL fan linked at the hip like that? It's the Super Bowl for the social media teams around the league, though, right?
It is.
That's that's usually the kind of thing. Those things are almost like the Super Bowl commercials. I get too involved in the bowl itself to pay much attention, and then I'll kind of digest the commercials over the course of the next week as you see them on social media or elsewhere, online. And that's kind of what I'll do with these schedule releases. I got enough of the fun. I got enough of the the meat to digest going through. Because I'm like you. I look at the Jags first, but then I'm look at the prime time. Fascinated by the primetime schedules, the teams that are featured, the decisions and thoughts that must go into how they place those games. So we got a lot of the schedule to go through. It's a real fun day for me. Hopefully it is for you. We'll unwrap this present that the NFL put under our tree, and again, we now know what the itinerary looks like if the Jags are going to return to the postseason in 2024. I got to working here. I checked the phone. I had a request out here or something. Boom. I'm trying to get Maddie. I'm figuring out when I can get Matt Every. He's at the PGA, where he'll be covering it for PGA Tour Live on ESPN Plus. We'll be tracking the PGA as we move along this morning. They'll get started here in about an hour. Maddie says today a no-go. He's got Koepka's group early in the morning, but he can join us tomorrow morning. So there we go. Pencil this in. Let's do 7 o'clock tomorrow, ET, for Matt Every. Maddie will join us from the PGA Championship tomorrow, and we're going to be tracking it as we go along. There's a real interesting dynamic here. And that is three of the favorites to win the golf tournament: Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and Brooks Koepka. Koepka won the PGA last year. Don't forget. I know he's off to live, and you're probably not seeing him much on the other 365 on your calendar, but on the majors, you do and you will. And, boy, he's proven, if anything, it doesn't matter where Brooks Koepka's game is. When the majors come up, he shows up. Really appreciate that about him. 5 major titles already for Brooks Koepka. Did you realize that? I would have guessed 4. Even knowing he's won a bunch, he's got 5 now. But here's the interesting thing. You ready for this? Today's Shazam Spotlight brought to you by ShazamAuto.com and the Murray Ford Superstores. Truck guys out and about this morning, you 6 a.m.ers. Head on down to Murray Ford when it's time for you to upgrade. They'll trade anything, but more importantly, the customer service you get, the deal that you get, the prices are great, the people are great. Truck guy, 100% customer satisfaction with the Murray Ford Superstore, Stark and Kingsland. Koepka, Scheffler, Rory. 2 of those guys, the hottest guys in the world. Rory's won back-to-back. The other, number 1 in the world, 4 of his last 5. And Koepka, always a threat at the majors. But who, and this is the Shazam part, Koepka, McIlroy, Scheffler, all won the last time they played a golf tournament. Koepka won the last live event. Rory's won the last 2 on PGA Tour, while Scheffler's been on baby duty because he departed for his sabbatical, coming off back-to-back wins at the Masters in Hilton Head. So, man, we could be set up for a terrific week. We've talked about, or at least I have, I pointed out Rory. Last time he got out of a major relationship, he caught fire on the golf course. And, buddy, we got some interesting, trashy gossip. Thanks to the British press when it comes to Rory and his pending divorce. The body ain't cold, E.T. And you know what the Daily Mail, I don't know who's what over there, Telegraph, Mail, they all feel tabloidish. They've already got odds on who will be Rory McIlroy's next girlfriend.
Dang.
Well, I want to pay attention to a name that's in the middle, one that will be, I mean, they've got names on there like, Prince Meghan Markle, what's her name? Markle? What's her first? Is it Meghan?
Yeah.
Meghan Markle. They had there's a range of movie stars and athletes. Paige Spiranak is the name some of you dudes may know. If you know, you know. So they got a bunch of them on there, but there's a name tucked there in the middle, and I smell something rotten in Denmark. Did I mess that up again, you Shakespeare fans? I misplayed that little Shakespeare line earlier. I'm content heavy today. You know what today's going to be?
What that?
Swipe. Now, you got us hooked up with a FSU perspective from the ACC Media Days today.
I do.
Right? So 8 o'clock, we're going to listen. The neighborhood boys are fighting in our backyard. None of them are our kids, but they're in our backyard and they're fighting. The ACC meetings are going on at Amelia Island. And I can just imagine that the tension within those rooms could be cut with a knife. The ACC feels like an aging prize fighter that's about to get knocked out of commission. That's what it feels like. So anyway, we will get more on that perspective when we dive into that where are the Noles going to land? I mean, yeah, you want to get out of the ACC. Are we sure Big Ten or SEC? Neither one has officially said, yeah, come on, we're waiting. Anyway, Logan Robinson of Noles Game Day going to join us in the 8 o'clock hour and get to set up as best he can on just where he feels FSU ultimately lands. As I said, we're tracking the PGA golf. Gators get a big commitment yesterday from the transfer portal. Just a day after Billy Napier made a visit here, and I think one of Napier's comments that he made to 1010XL applied to this edition through the transfer portal, so we'll tie those two storylines together. NBA playoffs continue. Well, for some, they end for the Cavs. Man, this is a joke for the Celtics. I can't help but think the Celtics are going to peter out in the finals. Look, you may pick the West anyway, but this is kind of a joke what's in front of them. First, they face the Heat without any of their good players, or without Jimmy Butler, without Rozier. Then they get the Cavs, and by last night, the Cavs got no Donovan Mitchell. They got no Jared Allen. They got no Karis LeVert. I mean, good grief, man. How are the Cavs even in the game in the fourth quarter? They were, but not when the scoreboard clicked for the last time. 113-98, 15-point win, so the Celtics move on, where they get the incredibly beat up, banged up New York Knicks if they survive. Knicks are up 3-2 in their series with the Pacers. So, tracking the PGA Championship, I'll let you know what time the golfers are going off, and as the scores roll in, you'll hear them here on 1010XL. So that's just a little bit of what we got going for you today. Doc Murphy, as always, on Thursdays as well. It's a custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. You're listening to The Drill. You can reach out and touch us via the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. That's 641-1010. That's also the phone number here into the Palatial Studios on the south side. And the old school email address is thedrill@1010XL.com.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
Satisfy your need for speed. Look at this! Whoa! It's NASCAR's All-Star Race at North Wilkesboro Speedway Sunday night. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234 on your NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Now at Hodges Mazda, take advantage of 0% APR on our versatile lineup of 2024 Mazda crossover SUVs. Lauren Brooks here. Choose from the off-road ready 2024 Mazda CX-50, the stylish 2024 Mazda CX-30, or the tailored for you Mazda CX-5. With 0% APR for 36 months, you choose the perfect CUV to drive home. Our professional non-commissioned sales team always puts your best interest first. Plus, every vehicle purchase comes with 2 years free maintenance. Visit Hodges Mazda today or shop online at HodgesMazda.com. See dealer for details. Terms and fees for qualified applicants expires June 3rd, 2024.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Prize, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. Johns County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
I'm the guy that never gives 5 stars because I never believe that anything is perfect. But I would give them 20 stars if I could.
Ernest's stellar review belongs to QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments. They came through when he badly needed relief for his aching knees, and doctors had told him that surgery was the only option.
What they're doing is cutting edge, and it really helps. And I'm a tough sell.
QC Kinetics is led by National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a pioneer in this field. With 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, publishing in non-surgical natural pain treatments. These are the medical pros to trust.
I'm living my life basically pain-free from what I was dealing with, so I'm a happy camper today, no doubt about it.
QC Kinetics. Call today to see if you're a candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
Prosser here. As you may or may not know by now, I did the research and decided to go with Jack's Concrete Coatings for my garage floor. OMG, as the kids would say. I can't begin to tell you how good it looks, how happy we are. We brag on it anytime someone walks in the garage. They had the job finished in one day with a lifetime warranty. That's right. As the certified Pintech dealer for North Florida, the only company offering pure polyurea, I can't wait to do my patio deck next. Call 862-2000. That's the number, 862-2000, or jacksconcretecoatings.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
The PGA Championship. Yes. And Fantasy Golf on 1010XL returns.
Keep an eye on this one.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors. And MyBookie. Win $1,000 of jewelry from Beard's Diamonds. Enter at 1010XL.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only costs are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 23rd.
Splish, splash, I'm taking up.
Everything okay in here?
Oh, yeah, sure is.
You're wearing a life jacket.
Sure am.
In the tub?
Practicing for when we head to the lake. I read about wearing one at wearitflorida.com.
And wearitflorida.com told you to wear it in the tub?
No, that was my idea. You know, Florida is the leader in boating fatalities, so a life jacket can save lives.
As you were.
Splish, splash, I was taking a
Learn
bath.
more at wearitflorida.com.
Let's go! Don't you dare miss the Jacksonville Sharks calming the storm this weekend. They're going to beat that Sioux Falls Storm. You bet. Saturday, May 18th, 7 o'clock at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Let's go! With tickets as low as $15, you're not going to find Saturday family affordable fun anywhere else. Call 904-621-0700 or go to jacksharks.com. Dress as your favorite superhero or villain for the Sharks Superhero Night and help the Sharks smash their opponent. All educators, buy one ticket, get one free. Join us for Shark Fest before the game. 5 o'clock, a pregame party, and rock the tank. Let's go! Don't miss opening night of the season. This Saturday, May 18th, 7 o'clock in the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Be a part of indoor football fun and exciting, non-stop action. Let's go! For tickets as low as $15, call 904-621-0700. And don't forget your cape. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we're back on the Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. This is how they roll over there across the pond, man. They don't mess around. Take it to the Daily Mail, okay? And then I'm gonna point to one in the middle and say, I wonder how she's there. Love a little juice. It's kind of like borderline 9 o'clocky, if you know what I mean, E. I'll keep it clean. Kinda. The PGA Tour, the PGA Championship, rather, tees off at 7:15 this morning, so we'll keep you updated when it comes to the scoreboard. You know who is first off of number one tee this morning at 7:15? Michael Block. You know who Michael Block is? Man, how quickly we forget. Michael Block is that PGA professional who captured everyone's attention last year. Remember, he was contending into the final day. He made a hole-in-one, remember? Michael Block goes off at 7:15 this morning. And then, I'd say the what are we looking for here? I know Tiger was okay. Here we go. The big boys are going off at number 10 here. This is where you want to be hanging out from 7:53 really through 8:37. What about these tee times in a row? You got Ludwig Oberg, Xander Schauffele, Justin Thomas. And then next you get Tiger Woods, Adam Scott, Keegan Bradley with them. Then at 8:15, Rory, Dustin Johnson, Justin Rose. At 8:26, Cam Smith, Hideki Matsuyama, Victor Hovland. And then at 8:37, Brooks Koepka, Max Homa, Jordan Spieth. Which makes it an imperative for me to rush home and get there by the back nine. But there you go. Yeah, the best in the world all together, thankfully for us golf fans, with round one of the PGA. Only one man can win the Grand Slam this year. That'd be Scottie Scheffler, who won the Masters just a little over a month ago. And if you're wondering about Scheffler, he goes with, you know how the PGA does it. They do the three reigning major champions. So in this case, it would be Scheffler, who won the Masters. It would be Brian Harman, who won last year's British. And it would be Wyndham Clark, who won last year's U.S. Open. All right, now on to the dirt. They'll stick the ball in the dirt later today, but you get over there in those London tabloids. What is this one, the Daily Mail? They've already, well, it's not them, actually. It's just the crazy fascination with gambling and odds. Listen, we're behind when it comes to that. Over there, in England, they've had the betting booths at the soccer stadiums for years. We're way behind on that. They'll put odds on anything, right? Royal family, you name it, they're putting odds. And so, as we learn that Rory McIlroy has filed for divorce from his wife, Erica Stoll, they are giving odds on Rory's next girlfriend, including 75-1 for the golfer to date old friend Meghan Markle, which is your first clue that don't think that someone being married has anything to do with the odds. Last I checked, Meghan Markle, is she not married to Prince Harry, E? Right? Yeah, Meghan Markle's married to Prince Harry, so it feels a little off-putting to put married people on the list of Rory McIlroy's next girlfriends. Then they go through a whole variety of, different names and photos of them and all that good stuff, tabloid-worthy. And then I scroll all the way down to the end where I just literally see who they are. And these are your betting favorites to be Rory McIlroy's next girlfriend. Paige Spiranak is at the top. Paige Spiranak is, let's just say, a social media maven, a former golfer herself. Paige Spiranak is 8-1. Then you got some other people, some I don't even know. Some seem kind of silly. Some, Emma Watson, Harry Potter actress, she's 12-1. Paula Kramer, who's a LPGA, I believe, 9-1. You go down to the bottom, more longer shots. You got Kendall Jenner, Olivia Wilde. They're both 16-1. Kim Kardashian, 25-1. His old flame, Caroline Wozniacki, who by all accounts is happily married to former Gator David Lee, but she makes it at 25-1. All kinds of names and odds that are on here. But odds near the top, which seems strange, a strange place for them to be without some fire to the smoke. You hear me, E? Like all of these others are just a combination of either high-profile celebrity names or women that Rory has a past with. And then there's one stuck there that's going to be a very familiar name to golf fans. If you watch CBS golf coverage, you know who Amanda Balionis is. Right? Amanda Balionis is their on course, reporter. Actually, she's up around the clubhouse. She does interviews. She does stuff. She's very good. She seems really sweet and cute and seems to do good work. And it was just a couple years ago. It was a big story among fanfare that she got married. She became Amanda Renner. She was married to Bryn Renner, or is, I think, still married to Bryn Renner's former North Carolina quarterback. So, these two stories have nothing to do with each other. Until they do. Here's Rory filing for divorce. Amanda Renner is no longer Amanda Renner, apparently. She's Amanda Balionis again on social media and otherwise, and it certainly appears that Amanda Balionis, who no one will put odds on who her next boyfriend will be, could also be headed for the big D. We don't mean Dallas. Why would Amanda Balionis, just a little, not a huge name in any sphere, purportedly to most, a married woman, a correspondent, she's just been married. Still a honeymoon phase. She got married like March 22. Why would Amanda Balionis show up with such good odds of 14-1? Which makes her the fifth favorite to be Rory McIlroy's girlfriend. Does that make any sense to anyone? How'd she land in that spot? Yeah, you want to make a little cash? Go over there to sportbetting.ag. They'll see no doubt on Amanda Balionis becoming Rory McIlroy's next girlfriend. I don't know what the parameters are to officially be called the girlfriend. Is the first person the paparazzi spot you out with? I don't know how you collect on that bet. There's a little shenanigans going on between the broadcast team and the number 2 player in the world. I'm just saying. It's kind of dirt you get here on a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday, 6:41 in the a.m. On to the more irrelevant golf topics as the players approach tee time for round 1 of the second major of the year. All right, Billy Napier was in town earlier this week. He met with the media at a at a Gator gathering event. Also spent some time on air with the Frangie show. The boys have been out and about. They were at the Gator gathering. They had Billy Napier there. Last night, they were at this town meeting that the Jaguars had. I told you what happens to these towns meetings. Everyone that comes out who's opposed, who just screams about taxes even though they haven't been aware about them very much at all, that's what shows up at these things. So I'm not going to pay attention. I got to be honest. That's my strategy. I'm not listening to the people go to the Mandarin Library or to, First Coast High School and scream and complain and say it's a bad deal. I'm just not doing it. So I'm sure that was at least part of the vibe at these things. Doesn't matter. Too bad. You don't like it out there? Tough. It's passing. No, there's no citizen vote. You can march and claim you want one. One you'd lose, by the way. So you guys can just go scream and, fire up your victimhood and, pretend now you're all tax experts and just complain. Cry in your soup, baby. It's going through. Thankfully. For the one time, thankfully, it's the government that has the sense, E.T. You can't let this get away. What kind of fool would let the NFL leave their town? What kind of fool wouldn't invest to keep it? This is not about wins or losses even. What kind of fool would tell a guy who's willing to invest more money into your city than any person in the history of civilization with this as a fringe benefit of? What kind of fool would complain about that? Oh, well, many of them will fill up these community meetings where they'll stroll up to the mic and wow you with how much better and smarter than they are when it comes to the propriety of our tax dollars. But Mark Lamping was there last night. We're going to hear from him coming up still. But I want to just go to Napier really quick, E.T. And, I consider yesterday's signing or commitment, I consider it kind of a fringe benefit of something that Napier said. He's been talking about the stability of the roster, their ability now to be a little bit, pick and choose. He's eliminating all the mistakes. This year's record is going to reflect on Billy Napier. There's no more, well, he had this, he inherited that, he doesn't have this, he hadn't had that. There's no more of those. Everything's in place. You are telling us things are in place. You are telling us that you like that you have settled down on the building of the roster. You have told us about the progress that your team has made at a variety of important areas. You talked about the being on the hot seat. You've said that you're even willing to start using, not that you're predicting the Gators get there this year, but the whole, the specter of a 12-team playoff instead of a 4-team gets everyone's attention when you kick off before the season goes. So the Gators got a commitment out of the transfer portal yesterday from Cormani McClain, who was a terrific high school football player, one of the top high school recruits in the country. Took kind of a roundabout way, ended up at Colorado. He had kind of silently committed to Florida. Then he publicly committed to Miami on signing day. The thought would be that he would go to Miami until he didn't. He ended up going and joining Dion at Colorado. It was, big news that Dion was able to get this guy, and then it never worked out there for whatever the reasons are. But even with that being said, he was placed as either 2 or 3 in the transfer portal of those that are available, and his recommitment included calls from all the big boys, Georgia and Alabama and Texas and Ohio State and LSU, and just go down the list of powers were trying to get him, and now he's committed to Florida. So it's just another piece that Billy Napier has to work with. E.T. cut 10. Cut 9. Look, Billy Napier knew he had his work cut out for him, and that point has been pounded home with back-to-back 7-loss seasons. But the McClain commitment yesterday, I think, shows you that there is some settling to what Napier's trying to do. This didn't feel like desperation. This feels like, okay, here's a kid who's interested. This could be a good player. Let's vet this. Let's make sure what happened here, what happened there. And so odds are before Florida had to take guys. If he's a good player, I'll try, and if there's something else, some other issue, or we'll work around it. But we got to take guys, where this doesn't have that same feel. Yeah, it has been hard turning around a program that has a lot higher expectations than the results we've seen the last couple of years.
So I just think it's been a wild, experiment here to some degree in terms of turning this place around. Look, we're 15 years removed from championship contention. In 2008, the Gators win the SEC and the national championship. 15 years removed from that. We have 3 Eastern Division titles to show for it. But we've got work to do to become a consistent championship contender again. I think we've built great facilities. We've established great processes and systems. We've got infrastructure. We've improved the player experience, and we've been able to recruit. And I think our team is stabilized a little bit. I think we now have a good NIL system, and I like the makeup of our team. You look at our team, I think we've went up in experience each year. 20,000, 25,000. I think we have 41,000 snaps of experience coming back. So, I've got confidence because I know our team and I believe in our team.
And the team now includes Cormani McClain, who committed out of the transfer portal yesterday. There's an Arizona State receiver they'd really like to get, and another couple of linemen that are out there. Kind of quietly, man, he's hit on some of these later in the process portal guys who are fairly highly ranked. That offensive lineman that they got from USC, who really technically is a freshman. He's never played. But after signing, he had to do it via the transfer portal. So we shall see if his optimism gets rewarded. It's an awful tough schedule. We know that. We're talking Knowles football in the 8 o'clock hour. They are at the ACC meetings. And we'll talk about that, the future of FSU, and this year's football team, what they have to replace, and what looks, what the prospects look like in 2024. Let's come back with a football fix. It'll be primarily schedule related. Mark Lamping last night at the community feedback meeting. I believe this one was in Mandarin. I'm going to let you hear from the Jaguars president, specifically when it comes to the topic of London. We're going to go through some of, certainly ours, schedule prediction. I'll give you what the Jags record is going to be. So, you can watch the season if you want, but I'll just go ahead and tell you how each game is going to play out, and, that way you'll know. I mean, I think that's fair. We'll do that. I see our buddy John Shipley has gone game by game. I'll tell you where, one of the Jags beat reporters sees things falling as well. So, Custom Tree Searches Thursday. We come back with a football fix. You're listening to The Drill on 1010XL.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
NFL schedule released yesterday. The season will open up with a Thursday night matchup as the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs host the Baltimore Ravens as a 3-point favorite with a total of 47.5. The Jacksonville Jaguars will play on the road in Week 1 on September the 8th as a 3.5-point underdog at the Dolphins, 49.5 the total. The home opener is September the 15th, Jacksonville laying 1 against the Browns, total 45. Jaguars over-under win total for the upcoming season, 8.5 flat. Scotty Scheffler plus 450 to win the PGA Championship that tees off today at Valhalla. Free betting splits available at vsin.com/splits. With your action update, Mike Sennett, 1010XL.
Are you having constant issues with drains backing up? Have you wasted money on plumbers that can't resolve your problems? We're Duck Duck Rooter, and we have the solution. We'll come out to your home or business, identify your problem, and make the repairs once and for all. From visual camera inspections, hydrojetting, line replacements, our team of pros will get the job done right. Call now to schedule service and relax. 904-862-6769. Financing is available. DuckDuckRooter.com, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
I'm Patrick Young, inviting you to the Florida SBDC's Network Small Business Success Summit, August 19th and 20th at the Sawgrass Marriott in Ponte Vedra. If you're ready to learn, network, and be inspired, I'll be delivering a keynote message you won't want to miss. Secure your spot today by registering at floridasbdc.org. Hey, there's no time to waste. Right now is the right time. I hope to see you at the Small Business Success Summit in August.
Prosser here for Lifetime Flooring. You've heard us rave about Lifetime Enclosures. Now let's talk about Lifetime Flooring. I can tell you firsthand, the products and services, the best in Jacksonville. As you know, updating your floors is one of the most dramatic changes you can make to your home. Call the experts at Lifetime Flooring now and ask about their buy one room, get one room free promotion through Memorial Day. 0% financing available to meet any budget. Visit their beautiful showroom just off Phillips Highway and tell them Prosser sent you.
1010XL's running game takes a giant step forward.
Well, Fred Taylor is the whole package.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on The Drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and B&B Fuel and Lubricants.
An ACL tear can be a devastating injury with prolonged pain and rehabilitation. Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari. I'm a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon who grew up right here in Jacksonville and then went on to train with the world-renowned Dr. James Andrews. At Bari Orthopedics, we use the most current techniques to get you back in the field with less pain and quicker rehabilitation. We treat all types of sports injuries with the newest techniques available. Please call us for consultation or visit BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Remember when vacationing was affordable? Well, General RV helps you vacation more for less, especially now with rollback prices on every motorhome, fifth wheel, travel trailer, and more. It's our rollback pricing event, May 15th through the 19th. This is your chance to get the best deal ever, plus immediate delivery on select models. And we're also giving you up to $1,500 in fuel free. See dealer for details. Pay less, vacation more. Only at General RV in Orange Park on Wells Road off 295.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows and 295.
Hacker here, and last week I mentioned the number 60, but it was prefaced with the word almost. Well, here we are 1 week later, and I can now say I've lost over 60 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. Every week, my weight keeps going down and down. Apparently, so does my blood pressure, because earlier this week, my doctor was shocked. My blood pressure is the best it's been in years, and I practically just started Awaken 180. I used to dread going to the doctor. If you're overweight, you know exactly what I mean. Always hearing you need to make changes. You need this med or you need that med. Not anymore. Awaken 180 has flipped the switch on aging for me, and I feel great. Guys, girls, if I can do Awaken 180, if I can succeed with Awaken 180, I guarantee you will too. Choose Jacksonville's choice in weight loss and make the call. 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
It's wins, losses, and predictions all day on 1010XL. Today's review of the NFL schedule is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, and Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors.
Yo, it's your boy E to the T, and the NBA playoffs are here, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you'll never miss a shot of making that straight cash, homie. You can even live stream and bet on the game right from the sportsbook, giving you everything you'll need to decide. Cash out or let it ride. MyBookie really makes it easy to get paid with tons of boosted props and slam dunk parlays. And new boosts are now posted on the daily. It's more than just a sportsbook. Buzzer beaters, underdog upsets, and a community to share in all of the sweats. Give yourself a head start today by using promo code 1010XL when you make your first deposit. That's 1010XL to claim a limited time bonus when you sign up and make your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Come on, somebody.
XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, back here on the schedule reveal the morning after. Shaking off the cobwebs and getting a look. Hey, boy, it sure sets up as a big game right out of the gates for Jacksonville week 4. Okay? Work with me here. The schedule's here for Jacksonville and the Houston Texans, who I will categorize as our main rival for the AFC South, but I'm a little more nervous about the Colts than everyone else is, I think. I mean, did we not remember the Colts, Jags, and Texans were all in the exact same spot at the end of the year? The Colts lost a home game to the Texans. They almost had one, so, I mean, I think the Colts are right there in that same anywhere from 7-10 to 12-5 category. One of these three teams is capable of reaching. But let's focus in on the Houston Texans for just a second. I told you the Jaguars, I think, really difficult start to the season. They're at Miami. Then they're home against Cleveland, both playoff teams from a year ago. Then they have a Monday nighter at Buffalo. And then guess what? On a short week, they're on the road again the next week against guess who? The Houston Texans.
Oh, dear.
Okay? So Miami on the road. Cleveland at home, at Buffalo Monday night, short week, at Houston. I mean, we're going to pencil them one by one here as we go, but you don't have to be pessimistic to see a 1-3 start, do you? That could be damaging, especially when I tell you this. This is why that game 4. We played Houston last year early to midseason here at home, and we let them come in and jump us, and it set the tone for the whole season.
It did.
We're going to have to return that favor next year. Here's why. After the Jags go at Miami, Cleveland at home, at Buffalo, and then on to Houston on a short week, the Texans open at the Colts, home against the Bears, at Minnesota and a rookie quarterback, and then host Jacksonville. I could see Houston being 3-0. The Jaguars, without messing up too bad, could be 1-2. And that makes that a really important swing game. It'll feel like it's do or die. Like it's must win. It'll feel that way. Obviously, it's not. We had an 8-3 football team miss the playoffs. What happens in September certainly doesn't ultimately define you, but boy, that potentially sets up as a really dangerous game for the Jaguars if the Texans get off to the kind of start that many expect them to. Fire up the band. We got a football fix. It's brought to you by the Jacksonville Sharks. Home this week. Go to jacksharks.com. Get your tickets today. And the Julington Creek Golf Club. Hey, they got that Thursday scramble going on. Now we're in the summer daylight hours. Yeah, the course is awesome. This would be a good chance for you. Go out and play the two-man scramble. Little skins game. Maybe a little cash on the side. And take a look to see for yourself why I say the Julington Creek Golf Club is the best value in golf. All right, here's some schedule notes. Boy, Houston is getting a lot of love from, I think this is a mistake. I don't think the country's in love with the Houston Texans. You put teams in national TV if they're not already proven great contending teams. You know, teams like the Bengals and the Chiefs and the Ravens and the Bills and the 49ers and the Packers or whoever it is you've identified, the Lions. You expect those teams, those good teams, to get 5 or 6 or even 7, not just primetime games, but games that also have exclusivity, whether they're Christmas or Saturday afternoon or games in London.
Games that just stick out.
Right. So, here are your Houston Texans-y. They got a home game against Chicago week 2, Sunday Night Football. They got a Thursday night game at the Jets on Halloween night. 8:15, Thursday Night Football. The following Sunday, they're home against the Lions, Sunday Night Football. The next Monday, at Dallas, Monday Night Football. 3 weeks later, on NBC, Saturday, December 21st, at Kansas City. And then they get the Christmas game against Baltimore. Let me tell you, remember last year we were talking about how the Jags season went and how the Texans season went? Remember what the Jags had to do there at the end? The schedule got tough. It didn't really get that tough. They made it a lot tougher than it was, losing to the Bucs and the Browns and anybody else that came along, it felt like. Here's how this is what a schedule means, dude. I mean, if I was playing the what are they going to be in Houston this morning, I wouldn't be far off from what the Jaguars are. That's an easy start. But after that Jacksonville game, and Jacksonville shouldn't be easy. After those 3, at Indy, Chicago, Minnesota, listen really to the next 14 for Houston, okay, E?
All right.
You got the Jags, you got Buffalo. 2 weeks later, you're at Green Bay. 2 weeks after that, you're at the Jets. Then you've got Detroit. Then you're at Dallas. 2 weeks later, you're at Jacksonville. You've got Miami at home, and then you're at Kansas City, and you've got Baltimore at home. Anybody out there thinks the Texans and C.J. Stroud are going to go 14-3 or 12-5 and be the top seed? Y'all smoking peyote, man. You're on the ayahuasca. Y'all giving Houston way too much credit. Jaguar fans who think Houston is way up there and we're way back here are misled by a couple of factors. Our collapse and theirs tiptoeing in. That's what I think. And I mean, I'll go through right here. I'll tell you see, they're going to lose 1. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They'll lose 4. They'll lose 5. They'll lose. I mean, I'm giving them some chops here. 6. I think Houston is 10-7 at best. Can you do better than that? Then you can go win you an AFC South. I'm not saying that to be dismissive. I think they're going 10-7. I think among this group of teams, you'll find 7 losses on this Houston Texans team. At the Colts, Jags at home, Bills at home, at the Packers, at the Jets, Lions at home, at Dallas, at Jacksonville, Miami at home, at Kansas City, Baltimore. That's 12 games, man. 5-7 may not be terrible in that stretch, and that means you're winning, by the way, all the others. Good luck, Houston, you darlings. Good luck out there, saddlebags. It's easy to grow a distaste, a dislike for the Texans, isn't it? That was us last year. I'm sure they're saying the same thing. Trevor Lawrence was the next coming. The Jags have won a playoff game. They're the exact carbon copy of what the Texans are. right now. 9 playoff matches featured in this year's NFL schedule. Other NFL news and notes that aren't schedule related, because we're going to play a lot of the schedule game as we move along today. Steelers defensive lineman Cam Hayward says he will be skipping voluntary workouts. If it's voluntary, you're really skipping it all. Netflix has joined the fun. They'll have a Christmas Day doubleheader. I told you the Texans play the Ravens, also the Chiefs and Steelers that day. OBJ introduced in Miami, the latest member of the Miami Dolphins, says he's at peace with a supporting role and admits he hasn't really been a number one for a while. And if you can't get enough hard knocks, you're in luck. Little did we know, but they were making a Hard Knocks off-season, which debuts here in about a month. It's the first off-season edition of Hard Knocks, and it'll be the Giants who are featured. It will premiere July 2nd. That's Football Fix. You're welcome. Thank you to the Jointon Creek Golf Club. And don't forget Jacksonville Sharks at home this weekend. Got Sharks tickets for you right now. Come kind, come courteous, and head to the tank this weekend. Doc Kevin Murphy in the 7 o'clock hour. Talking FSU football with Knowles Game Day in the 8 o'clock hour. Going to go through the schedule to give you my own predictions. Maybe ask for some of yours. And take a look at some of who the other media experts have predicted for your Jaguars this year as well. All right, it's a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. You're listening to The Drill on 1010XL.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
Picture the greatest amusement park you've ever been to as a kid. Now imagine a place nothing like it and 1,000,000 times better. That's where we are.
1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays. The sound of paydays. The sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Lauren Brooks here from Mayport CNC Fisheries. At my house, we had a feast from Mayport CNC Fisheries with the freshest shrimp around, and it was unbelievable. They also have oysters, scallops, mahi, and so much more. Want to eat like a local? Head to the beach and visit my friends at Mayport CNC Fisheries.
I'm Frank Frangie with the Nimnik Nugget. The deal is a good one. It benefits the city, it benefits the Jaguars, it benefits all of us. Congratulations to the City of Jacksonville, Mayor Donna Deegan, and to Mark Lamping and the Jags for coming up with a deal that benefits everybody. It was presented to the City Council. I love the deal just the way it looks. I think the City Council is going to pass it. and I think that is great news for Jacksonville. We're going to have a brand new stadium, and I can't wait. I'm Frank Frangie for the Nimnick family of dealerships. For Military Appreciation Month, Nimnick Buick GMC pauses to honor and express our deepest gratitude to the brave service members and their families who sacrifice so much for our country. Frank Frangie here. As a token of their appreciation, Nimnick Buick GMC is extending a special offer, $1,000 total cash allowance to all military personnel and their families on select new vehicles. So shop online at Nimnick Buick GMC. That's Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. Look, obviously the warmer temperatures are already here, and if you're like me, you want that oppressive Florida heat to stay outside your house. That's why I'm such a fan of Pella Windows and Doors. By now we know that windows are the #1 way that heat gets in and the cold gets out. So when you're ready for the stylish design and energy efficiency that comes from Pella Windows and Doors, visit their showroom on Phillips Highway, just north of Bay Meadows, or you can always find them online at PellaJacks.com. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
If you owe the IRS and can't pay, now is the time to call J. David Tax Law. The IRS has resumed their aggressive collections. Don't wait. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Jacksonville, or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by J. David Tax Law. Jacksonville Mayor Donna Deegan, appearing on 1010XL's Frangie Show, showed her enthusiasm for the proposed stadium deal with the Jags.
I think this is going to be really, really good for the city. I think everybody wants it in terms of our leadership.
The Florida Gators close out the regular season with the 3-game series against the 9th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. The teams will square off beginning this evening. Hear the game live starting at 7 on 1010XL. In local collegiate sports, JU Dolphins baseball will be at Eastern Kentucky University for a doubleheader today. Game time is 3 p.m. UNF baseball will take one final push for the postgame in a 3-game home finale series against Florida Gulf Coast at Harmon Stadium. Game time for them is this evening at 6 p.m. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
At 7-Eleven, it's 69 degrees your time, and your temp is brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ryan Nielsen, a great coach. Definitely a fiery coach. All about, enthusiasm and emotion and attention to detail. And, I feel like this is what this defense needs. And, I'm excited for this defense, man. Just got a lot of, great players. A couple rookies coming in and definitely help us out. So I'm excited.
Tyson Campbell needs to bounce back here, especially on the health standpoint. We heard from him yesterday, but he'll certainly be counted on. He's now a vet. They're going to year 4. If this is the point of your career where you establish yourself as a lockdown all-star level player, it'd be now. You start talking about the Jaguars' defense, immediately I start thinking about the quarterbacks that they will face. One of the fun things about going through the schedule is you kind of take inventory on each team that you face, and you get some reminders. And, the ultimate reminder is that NFL teams don't get better, they get better quarterbacks. And so the challenge that you face as a football team and as a defense is just directly correlated, right, with how good the other team's QB is. Everything else on that opponent's offense being the same, it will ultimately, most of the time, be the quarterback that determines whether or not that team's going to beat you this week. And between the opener at Miami and a juicy Sunday nighter, primetime at the Eagles in Week 9, the Jags will face Tua Tagovailoa, Josh Allen, C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, and Jalen Hurts. And by the way, then you wonder, what is Deshaun, man? What is he? Is Deshaun Watson a difference-making quarterback still? He may have been on his way back to a revival last year, but now we're just going to add another year of not playing, of rust, of all the rationales that we used that why Deshaun Watson was unimpactful. Until he seemed to be getting things going early last year. Don't forget, he broke it. That man broke his shoulder blade, finished a game and a win at Baltimore last year for Cleveland. What is Deshaun? So maybe that too is a tough test. I don't know. What's Anthony Richardson going to be? Now, you get him here in Jacksonville first, so basically he's back to his rookie status for the most part. But, I mean, ask Denny, ask the Colts what they think. They think Anthony Richardson will take his turn of opening eyes. Then you get a couple of rookies back-to-back in London. This is where the Jags, I think, can get fat, right? You got Caleb Williams in London, and then I would imagine you have Drake May, but if you don't, you have Jacoby Brissett, and it doesn't feel like the Patriots are ready to get good again yet. So those two London games are important. But I look at two real stretches of the Jaguars' schedule. Oh, by the way, they're not done with Jalen Hurts. I just went up to that point. They do get another rookie quarterback, probably J.J. McCarthy at home. But then, you got to have the Lions and Jared Goff. You got the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. I saw D-Rock, colleague and friend. I saw D-Rock identify the middle portion of the Jaguar schedule as being the key portion. I didn't take it that way at my first glance. I can see where he's coming from. That middle portion would be Green Bay at home, at the Eagles, the Vikings at home, at Detroit, Houston at home. And that certainly is important. 4 of those especially. The Vikings at home, again, rookie quarterback. Who knows what he's doing by then? C.J. Stroud was a rookie quarterback. He had plenty of success, so I don't know. But, as you sit here in May, it would seem to be an advantage. But that's Green Bay, at Philly, at Detroit, and Houston. Those 4 teams in 5 games seems awful tough. Now, you do have a home game with Minnesota, and you have a bye week that's tucked in there as well. So I'm going to stick with what I initially thought was the absolute crisis point of the Jaguars schedule, or the most important. I think it's right out of the gates, E.T. You got 4 games against playoff teams from a year ago, and 3 of them are on the road. And the last thing in the NFL you want to do is be 0-2 or 1-3 or, God forbid, 0-4. We're going to find out real quick if we left that hangover in the 2023 season and didn't carry it over. Because at Miami, Cleveland, at Buffalo on Monday night, and then at Houston on a short week, you better have your A game popping all 4 weeks, or you will get off to a 1-3 start. And a 1-3 start would be so deflating, wouldn't it? After the way they finished last year, going 1-5 in the last 6.
Oh, man, wouldn't it?
I mean, that'd be 2. And I remember last year when they were 8-3, we're using all these, the last 17 games, only the Chiefs have a better record than the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll be running that again. Only the Panthers have a worse record in the last. So that's a really tough stretch there right out of the gates. At Miami, Cleveland at home, at Buffalo, at Houston. Again, I'm going to put the wins and losses on them so you won't have to worry. Then you get a little bit of a breather. I think you get Indy at home and then the 2 London games back-to-back. So really, if you can go 1-3 there, you can very, very realistically win 3 in a row, be back to 4-3, steady your feet and be okay. And then you have that next stretch that we talked about and that D-Rock pointed out. Packers at home, at the Eagles, Vikings at home, at the Lions, not on Thanksgiving. We talked earlier about what do we check off when you're first checking the Jaguar schedule, and you said prime time, and then whether those games were home and away. You might look for the home opener or the opening day opponent. Now, those these days seem to get leaked. We knew yesterday that Miami on the road was the opener. 2 that I look for this year, 2 road games that registered for me. Detroit, I wanted the Jags to be on Thanksgiving. I didn't want to be watching the Jags on Sunday, while I'm eating my leftovers from Thursday. I wanted to be watching them on Thursday when the turkey was fresh out of the oven. I wanted the Jags to get that spot on. They're the only team in the NFL that's never played on Thanksgiving, and this was a year it worked out perfect. So why not, doggone it? Anyway, so I looked at Detroit. Nope, sadly, November 17th. It looks like the Jags have a bye? Yeah, the Jags are going to have a bye Thanksgiving week, it looks like. The Jags bye comes Sunday, November 24th. So, no, I guess Thanksgiving is probably the 28th this year. Is that right? It's probably late, so actually we'll play the Houston Texans at home. Is December 1st Thanksgiving weekend? Not often as I'm going through the show that I have to go to the calendar for anything other than, vacation skids. I haven't put my planner yet for, Thanksgiving is the 28th this year. So, Houston Texans at home will be the Thanksgiving Day game. But anyway, after potentially getting well and back to 4-3, you got Green Bay at Philly, Minnesota at Detroit, not on Thanksgiving. Then the bye week before Houston. So, I got to play at Houston on a short week, the Monday nighter. But later in the year, you're going to get Houston coming off a bye week, so perhaps you're in better stead. Now, I told you about that Houston Texans schedule at the end of the year. In their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, in their last 9 games, it includes at the Jets, again, a different team with Aaron Rodgers if they're healthy, at the Jets, Detroit at home, at Dallas, at Jacksonville, Miami at home, at Kansas City, Baltimore at home. Just stay in the race and, go prove it to me, Texans, you big bad A's. Yeah, you're so big and bad out there, aren't you, with your Stetson caps? Ooh, 10-7. Stop the world. Oh, my God. Put them on national TV 100 times. Boy, they look unbeatable. Talk to me at the end of the year, tough guys.
Dang.
Yeah, I've reached my maximum overload on the Houston Texans in a 10-7 season and a rookie year that might very well signal an incredibly bright future or C.J. Stroud, or maybe it won't. And I say this not to compare futures, but to note pasts. And granted, C.J. Stroud's came in a rookie year, and so it is more impressive. But C.J. Stroud's first year that ended with the Texans in the playoffs and a playoff win, statistically, is the exact same season that Trevor had in 2022, which came with a winning record and a division title and winning the playoffs. How did that translate to the next year? Not a prediction, just an observation. But back to the Jags, off of that bye, and then Houston, they finish with a very winnable slate, man. Remember those games I just told you the Texans were playing? The Jags will finish with the Texans at home, at the Titans, Jets at home. The second game that I looked for when the schedule came out was at Vegas, baby. I want to see where that shook out. It's Christmas week, the 22nd. But the Jags will go Texans at home. The two teams will play each other. Then the Jags are at the Titans, Jets at home, at the Raiders, Titans at home, at the Colts. If backs against the wall, they are in win or else mode. And by the way, they could lose to the Texans at home. They could lose to the Titans on the road. They could lose to the Jets at home. They could lose at the Raiders. I don't think they're losing to the Titans at home. And they could lose at the Colts. So, real easy. Yeah, you just went 2-4, tough guy. So any or all of that could happen. That's not what I would predict. And as to the actual predictions, they're coming up. I'll tell you what I think we're going to be. And I'll tell you as honestly as I can, and I'll also factor in what some of the others are doing. They had one of those community meetings last night. These things must be a peach to go to, as from all corners of Jacksonville, people who have never asked one time. I've never seen these people go downtown and clamor week for week for these programs and these upgrades and these things that are needed until they're spending them somewhere else. I'm just, where's all your chivalry every other week of the year when city council meets and budgets? Where are your objections then to this septic tank needs fixed, or this park needs to be open, or this road needs to be paved? They've had the money for it all along. Why ain't you been asking? And as you're asking for that, is there someone else, a separate business entity, who's going to match every investment you make? So I tend to think that this is just, in today's day and age, this is for like these community meetings or social media in person. Whiny, complainy. I mean, if you're listening to 1010XL this morning, you should think the Jaguars are a good thing. Or I'm confused. How about that? Anyway, Mark Lamping is pretty good at working a room, answering questions, doesn't get frustrated, treats you with a lot more respect than I just did. I will admit. The question is going to come up, and people are going to demand, if you're going to pay all this money, you shouldn't be playing a game in London. We need a septic tank out on Lane Avenue. Here's a Mark Lamping on just what some of the impact of playing these games in London has been.
New stadium doesn't change the size of the market. And our London program, yes, the stadium-to-stadium comparison has always been important, but we're also growing our commercial presence in the UK outside of what happens with the stadium. So it has in the past, and presumably will continue to be part of our DNA because it gives us something distinctive.
And that is true, and I think there is some trick, not even trick on it. I think there is now starting to be some impact on business in Jacksonville coming from a relationship with London. And I'm not smart enough or studious enough, or I have not researched this. But I know I heard a comment from Donna. I don't know if I was talking to her at the wedding or if it was from her press conference, but they're starting to see some fruits of that relationship when it comes to things that aren't that important to me, to be honest. There's also a new league requirement coming. Every team in the NFL is going to have to commit to playing an international game once every 4 years, while the Jags are already playing one every year. How does that factor in, Mark Lamping?
As far as the league is concerned, right now there is a league requirement. All 32 teams have to comply with this requirement, and that requirement is that the league has the option to require every team in the NFL to give up one home game for the international series every 4 years. That's been in place for 4 years, just for the last couple years. Before that, it was once every 8 years. I can tell you the league has never asked us to give up a game under that requirement. But anything that we do, we have to make sure we're not violating what the league rules are, because then the league won't approve the lease.
Glad to hear this from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Hey, Jeff, I was there. Nobody complained. It was totally all positive. Love to hear that. That's good. People don't usually show up to agree, right? Typically not how it works, showing up to agree. So, I'm sorry. I get bombarded with this Karen app, E.T. It's called Nextdoor, the Nextdoor app. It's Karen, just Karen fest, boy. Men, women, children, all races, all genders, all persuasions. Everybody on the app is a Karen. Every single one of them. It's hilarious. And, I had, Karen living in some neighborhood off of, St. John's Bluff. Apparently has got the financial savvy of, Warren Buffett in examining the deal. Shut up. Let's come back with a 10-minute drill. E.T. will pepper me with some of the hot topics in the sports world, maybe other than the Jaguars schedule. We're talking ACC meetings with Noles Game Day. That's coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. FSU's future in the conference looks like it's not for much longer. Where do they land? And what about the 2024 season? Doc Kevin Murphy coming up this hour. Injuries in the sports world. And much more on a Custom Tree Searches Thursday. Thanks for being up with it.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
It's wins, losses, and predictions all day on 1010XL. Today's review of the NFL schedule is brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, and Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors.
Hey, Hicken here. May is Healthy Vision Month, folks, and it's time to put your eye health front and center. If you haven't had a comprehensive dilated eye exam in a while, what a great time to schedule one with Bowden Eye. Comprehensive dilated eye exam is the best way to check for common eye problems, even if you haven't noticed any symptoms. You detect signs of eye diseases like glaucoma, diabetic eye disease, age-related macular degeneration. All you got to do is call or visit BowdenEye.com and schedule your consultation. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
Come in, Linda. Over.
We've got a sea of new vehicles and they're priced so low they're rocking the boat. Come check out our biggest selection of inventory with the best prices and our wow ya experience that will ensure smooth sailing for your next car purchase. Plus, take advantage of our peace of mind warranties, transparent pricing, and free oil changes with every purchase. You better beat the surge and head to Beaver Toyota St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville for the best car buying experience.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon for QC Kinetics. This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do all the outdoor stuff you love to do, hiking, jogging, biking, playing on the beach. Don't go through summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints. You gotta call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 904-274-5522. Serving the Jacksonville area with locations in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra Beach. Again, this is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Again, Mandarin and Ponte Vedra Beach. Call QC Kinetics now, 904-274-5522. That's QC Kinetics.
The All-Pro Roofing phone line connects you to some of the most sports-connected minds in the country.
You mean you can actually contact these people?
Listen for great phone interviews all day on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
We'll talk on the phone.
On 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here from my friends at Lockhart Construction. Man, oh man, they're a long-time Jacksonville business. That means they do things right. They do things well. Shane's dad started the company, still with Shane. His guys are from here, taking care of people who live here, people like me. We've used Lockhart Construction not once, not twice, but 3 different times. We did one bathroom. We did another bathroom. We've done some remodeling. Shoot, if you want a new house, no job too big, no job too small, give the Lockhart family a call. Their family gives your family a better living experience. I say you unlock better living with Lockhart Construction. So if you have a construction need, a simple question, a thought, an idea, give Shane a call. I call him all the time. Hey, Shane, can you do that? Yeah, I can do that. I said, okay, good. Hey, Shane, can you? Yeah, I got that. I said, okay, great. Shane will call you back, 994-3865. Shane Lockhart, Lockhart Construction, 994-3865.
It's the perfect day. You're just driving along, listening to your favorite music, the windows down. There's a cool breeze. Life is good. But wait, hold on a second. You're not wearing a seatbelt? You'd better put that on before that... Uh-oh, too late. Cops everywhere are stepping up enforcement, so you'd better buckle up or you will get caught. Sorry to ruin your day. Click it or ticket.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Discover the difference that local expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Visit their showroom at the Avenues and browse high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it. Oh, we got a new setup, man. ET will set us up for the 10-minute drill. I'll try and close it down or take him deep or whatever the case may be, but let's hit some of the other percolating storylines out there on the sports landscape. The text line now up and rolling. I think we crashed that thing in the 6 o'clock hour, so that's now there for you, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. And the 10-minute drill is brought to you by Jack Concrete Coatings. Hey, I had them come out and do the garage gang, and man, it is just it's worth everything you hear. They've got this exclusive technology that all of the other companies that do this kind of work, some of them aren't even allowed to use it. It's what started the whole trend. I think it's called PinTech. But, man, I was just so impressed with Jack's Concrete because of the way they handle things. They were just, when they scheduled stuff, and then they were right on point, right on the money. No, we'll be here between 10 and 4. None of that nonsense. Hey, we'll be at your house tomorrow at 8:55. At 7:15, we'll be at your house later at 8:55. At 8:45, we're 10 minutes away from your house. I mean, it was terrific, and the finished product is just awesome. It does make a big difference. Anyway, what you got, E?
Jeffrey, the PGA Championship is this week. It starts today, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's underway. The first tee times were this morning at 7:15, I believe.
What will it say if Scotty wins that thing?
Oh, man.
What will it say about him?
Well, by the way, play has been suspended at the PGA Championship, I guess, due to weather. So, or maybe there's some fog. I don't know what's going on. This year, it moves around. It's a different place every year. It's at a course called Valhalla. Up in Valhalla, I guess, up in Kentucky.
Okay.
So yeah, but if Scotty Scheffler wins and he's part of the afternoon groups today, I think then we legitimately start. You legitimately start to. I mean, I don't know if it's legitimate. We've had these guys have their runs where they do incredible things in these bursts, but whenever you do them like in separate bursts, like Tiger didn't win all 14 in 3 years. He'd get hot. He'd win. You know. 5 in 4 years, and then he'd have another stretch where he'd win 3 in 2 years, and then he'd win 1 3 years in a row. I mean, it's the extended period of time that you can maintain dominance that's impressive. Scheffler's what now? 2 major titles. He's won the Masters twice. You know, we saw Jordan Spieth win like 3 out of 4, and we saw Rory do it 10 years ago. Young guys, it's all about sustaining. This will give us one more indication that Scotty Scheffler has a game and a talent and a personality that can sustain. And, you know, good luck doing it for about another 15, 20 years at this rate to get into that upper pantheon of Nicklaus and Woods and others.
Speaking of Tiger, he's playing in this, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Can his body hold up, man? Like, or is it done for Tiger?
Well, you know, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be certain – listen, if you are a dude who's played sports in your life and you've been beat up and banged up, you know sometimes you feel better than others. You know, I got my infirmaries. My shoulders hurt. My elbows messed up. My hip. And some days my hip, I feel like I can barely walk. And other times I won't notice it for 2 weeks. Tiger is worse off than any of us are. But if he feels, you know, at least somewhat better and everything works out with the weather and maybe the hilliness of the course, the tee times, no delays. I mean, if everything falls into place, maybe, but I don't know. We do dismiss him making the cut at the Masters without playing golf at all as like no big deal. It is a big deal. It's amazing that you're in the top 50 in the world without playing any competitive golf. The hot rumor was last Sunday playing a practice round that Tiger shot 31 on the back nine at Valhalla. Now, if he really did go out and shoot 31, which is 5 under par, and can bring that kind of game, I think the only way Tiger wins now, there's no more being 6 shots back on Saturday and having a weekend charge. I think the only way Tiger wins a major again, he's got to come out of the gates fast and try and hold on. And these guys coming at him, I don't know if they'll allow him to do it. I don't think Tiger, forever, it looks like it must have been fog because the first tee times are now listed at 7:25. I know it's 7:35. So maybe they're actually on the course right now. I don't know. We'll keep following. So, no, my guess would be Tiger doesn't, but it would not surprise me if he does. I think if he does win another major, it ultimately will be Augusta. But every time I see the dude, he looks more pained. So I'm losing faith.
I heard something about one of your favorite people.
Oh.
Caitlin Clark.
Okay.
And I think it was her former coach, her college coach. She said
Lisa Bluter.
Bluter?
Yeah. They can accuse me of not knowing who it was. Like I made it up.
She said in order for Caitlin to be effective, you have to let Caitlin be Caitlin, and you have to let her shoot the ball.
Right.
Like
Steph and Trae Young. And listen, there's two perfect examples. If you're Steph, you go, girl. If you're Trae Young, well, no, you don't. The Hawks are letting Trae Young be Trae Young, and it's driving them right into nowhere. So, look, Caitlin Clark was a terrific college player, E. She set the scoring records, but in part because she's a one-man show at Iowa. The one thing I will say about the WNBA is now you got 9 other girls on the court that were where they played.
Yep.
So, if I'm a team or a teammate and I don't want to see this girl come in and fire up 15 threes a game from everywhere, have games where she goes 2 for 15, will they let her? The NBA lets their stars do that.
And what I heard is the team that she's currently on, her coach, she doesn't want her to shoot like that.
Again, the ladies of the WNBA are being really petty, and they're wishing Caitlin Clark failure. They're not at all embracing and riding. I saw that Clark's debut was the most watched WNBA game since 2001. It's been 20 years, and then I got, people people commenting, well, Diana Taurasi debuted to this. So what? What does that have to do with anything? The game's at a different spot. That would be like as NASCAR was rising to its top popularity in the 90s, instead of people embracing Jeff Gordon, all they want to do is talk about Richard Petty. Take what you've got here. Accentuate, support each other. Grow along together. It's just, these ladies of the WNBA, man, they are some petty, petty women. It goes all the way up to the coaches. Her own coach doesn't seem to want her or allow her. Imagine if Steve Kerr, Mark Jackson had told Steph, hey, Steph, sorry, you can't do that. And Steph Curry never foisted another one from the logo.
Right.
They may not have a title.
It looks like
I'd let her, listen, first of all, I'm the Indiana Fever. I had the top record. I had the worst record last year. I had the number 1 pick, and I'm such a bad coach and such a bad team. I had the top pick again this year. Maybe I can afford, for ticket sales or others, to tell Caitlin, jack me up about 20 of those a game. Just get over half court and jack them. Just play, man. Make it fun. Make it exciting. Keep them watching. Live with the haters on the night that you go 1 for 12. And don't get too caught up in yourself on the nights that you go 13 for 20. But overall, it feels like, and again from afar, like the WNBA is blowing the most golden goose opportunity ever with their petty jealousy over a college girl. The first college girl who has managed to bring fans from college to WNBA. None of the other great college players, the Ionescus or the Lobos or the Taurasis, or, I can name 10 women's basketball players. None of them brought the following. None of them pied and piped from college to the WNBA. You have one that might can do that. So, yeah, let's just crap on her all the time. That makes a lot of sense.
It looks like the Lakers have a new leading candidate.
Oh, who is it?
Sam Cassell.
Okay, that's
they
that's
got
different.
permission.
He's on a bench. I've seen him on. Who's he coaching with? Do we know?
Was it the Clippers?
Okay. Yeah, I've seen Sam Cassell on benches. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that would seem to fit. The JJ Redick just didn't make any sense. Because Sam Cassell now. See, look, if you're my age, you still think of Sam Cassell as young. He ain't young,
right?
Sam Cassell probably 45, 50 years old, isn't he?
He got to be up there,
right?
And you see Bronny at the draft scrimmages.
Man, I root for Bronny. I hate the fact that everyone kills Bronny just because he's LeBron's kid. I mean, it's a lot harder to fight and to work and to train and to chase your dream when you're rich. A lot harder. It's a lot harder for Bronny to do all the work in that needs to be put in, if he's even able to translate his skills to the NBA, than it was for his daddy, who had to escape a situation.
Right.
So I'm not standing for any LeBron-y criticism. I'm not. That's baloney. And he ain't going to get any. And by the way, you don't get any free pass in the NBA. Ain't nobody going to be running LeBron out to play minutes if he can't play in the league.
That's true.
So I'd wish him well. I mean, he's having to overcome that huge shadow. He has to answer questions about things that he's never said or thought. Would you only play with your dad? I've never said or thought that in my life. I'd really like to do my own thing. Thanks, though. So to your point, no, I did not see what he did in the scrimmage. Did he do well?
He didn't do bad.
Okay.
I think he had about 12 points in 23 minutes.
I see the two that are shooting up the board are Zach Edey, who, despite being the back-to-back player of the year, he was like 13th in the initial mock drafts. He's like showing some athleticism and soaring up the board. If I'm the Hawks, I'd take Zach Edey. I'm not kidding. I'm going to take some 19-year-old Frenchman. Goodness knows what he'll become. Zach Edey's a grown man. I'll throw a 7-3 guy in the middle of my lineup and see what happens. Let's go old school. New school ain't working. Maybe he can corral one of the 17 missed shots that Trae Young has every night.
And I ain't going to lie, man, the more I look at this NFL schedule, like our Jags schedule, I'm a little bummed about the prime time and not having any home prime time games.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's me, but yeah, cool, we got the prime time games, but I want them things to be here in Duval.
Well, and I'm a little different that way. I just go totally selfish. I'd rather the primetime games be on the road. I can watch them. The game ends. I'm asleep.
That's true.
If they're here, I don't get to. I'll go for half or
and then you miss out. So, for work purposes.
Yeah, because of work. Otherwise, I'd be with you. If I listen, just heads up. If I ever am forced, hopefully not, to the 9 to 5 world, you jokers ain't going to see me in the office the day after a Jags primetime game. I'll just go ahead and alert the affiliates. Your boy ain't going to be in. All right, that's the 10-minute drill. Just some of what's happening out there. We visit with Doc Kevin Murphy next. We're still going to go through the schedule and put some predictions on it. We also are going to talk FSU and ACC football. They are meeting up at Amelia Island, the ACC is. And again, I can't imagine how thick the tension must be. I don't know if there's ever been a conference or a group whose members hated it more than some of these members seem to hate the ACC. So we've got Logan Robinson of Knowles Game Day coming up in the 8 o'clock hour for you as well. Doc Murphy is next. It's Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. You are listening to The Drill.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here. Your home for Florida Gators baseball is 1010XL.
It's a Florida-Georgia weekend in May. Gators Bulldogs, Thursday and Friday night and Saturday afternoon on 1010 a.m.
Men, are you suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? The medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. 98% of men see instant results on their first office visit. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Men are even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
But that's not all. For a limited time only, call Prime Men's Medical Center now, and your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
You see this smile on my face? I got a smile on my face all the time because I'm so happy that I've joined the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it, man. That's how they treat you when you head over to that beautiful showroom off Atlantic Boulevard and find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. That smile on my face means I walk out to my beautiful blue Silverado. You're my boy, Blue! I'm cruising around town, and I love it. Whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, George Moore Chevrolet has it. If you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, don't worry. MooreChevy.com. Easy to navigate as any site you'll try. All the vehicles, transparent pricing. It's right there for you. Sales and service to parts. It's never been more easy to use. That's Moore Chevy, M-O-O-R-E Chevy.com. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hi, this is Chelsea from Renewal by Anderson. Now's the time to get your custom windows and doors. Through the month of May, buy 2 windows and or patio doors and get the third 60% off. Plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for 1 year. Some restrictions apply. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Go to rbafla.com to book your design consultation today. License number CGC 1527613.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Oh, that big and broke blind. No worries. I'll just go to fish-hook-repair.com and get these hooked on fish again. Oh, and while I'm on the site, I'll check out the pro shop with exclusive fish hook apparel for Jacksonville's coolest anglers. Fish-hook-repair.com. Don't forget the hyphens. It's the place for fishing gear.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy. And do it today.
It's kind of like his own private locker, and you're his guest.
Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010xl.com.
Hayes Blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Ante up and swing for the greens. Best Bet St. Augustine is giving away a brand new golf cart and cash prizes during our Fairways to Fortune promotion. Now to July 26th. Every hour of poker and table games played at Best Bet St. Augustine earns you a chance to win over $30,000 in prizes, including a top-of-the-line golf cart that seats 6. Visit bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com. And we'll see you in St. Augustine.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels for Big Chief Tire. And if you're looking for quality tires that won't break the bank, they've got you covered. With 5 convenient locations around town, Big Chief keeps Jacks rolling. Right now, they're offering $50 off a new set of tires. It's the perfect time to upgrade before you hit the road for summer vacation. Head over to BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 today to take advantage of this incredible deal. That's Big Chief Tire, 904-932-0950.
It's wins, losses, and predictions all day on 1010XL. Today's review of the NFL schedule is brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, and Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors.
The Sign and Drive Green Tag event continues, offering 0% for 84 months with no money down on a John Deere compact utility tractor with loader. Limited time offer. Visit your local Ag Pro today. Offer ends May 31st, 2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is not affiliated with the NFL or the Jacksonville Jaguars. Discussion regarding injuries is solely based on opinion. Coming up, the weekly Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Medical Report featuring Dr. Kevin Murphy, a board-certified orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine, upper extremities, and arthroscopy of the shoulders and knees. Dr. Murphy is a nationally and internationally recognized orthopedic expert. He's a former orthopedic consultant to the White House and the Pentagon, and currently serves as head team physician for UNF, the Jacksonville Icemen, and Northeast Florida area high schools.
All right, Doc Kevin Murphy, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, in studio with us this morning. Immediately from the text line and designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Affirmation to the staff over there at Southeast Orthopedic with Doc Murphy coming in. A shout out to Southeast for repairing my ruptured Achilles last Wednesday. First class staff. My doctor, Stephen Arndt, gave me options, shot straight with me based on what I needed, and so there you go.
Awesome.
I've been there myself, been there, done that, so I too can.
Yeah, we got guys for everything. You know,
you know what the hardest thing about getting older is, especially if you have played sports. And again, we're not selling like some Sunday Impact NFL career, but you've been playing sports since you were 5 for so many years. It's just like trying to determine if you're hurt is important or not. You know what I mean?
Well, and to your point, it gets a little harder when you get older.
Yeah.
So we see some of these guys, particularly Achilles, you feel that little twinge, and, that 35, 40 to 45-year-old age group, it's nothing. You can play through it like you have 100 times, and all of a sudden that thing pops.
Yeah.
So it's a little different at that age.
And then you get even, let's go up another half a generation, like my age, kind of like that mid-50s group, and, the back will hurt for a few days, and then it'll go away, so it's not big. But, lately I've been dealing with, hip. Down through my upper thigh, which then makes me, I've got some certain diseases in my family history, so I'm not a worrier and I'm not paranoid, but I do about that particular thing. And yeah, my hip has just been.
Well, I saw you limping a little bit.
Yeah, every time I get up. And now if I walk up and down, I won't, two trips up and down, I won't be limping. I'll be fine. But it's like I got to get the motor oil.
Well, most of those things, inflammatory things, go away.
Yeah.
But if they don't over a couple of weeks, then you probably have it looked at.
All right, let's talk about listen, speaking of hips, one of the best tennis players of all time, it doesn't look like he is going to get to ride out a fairy tale ending on his own terms. Rafa Nadal, who's missed a bunch of time in the last year and a half with a variety of injuries, is now pulled out and we'll be in major season here. The French Open probably starting next week probably. So we're going to get into the Grand Slam portion of the tennis schedule, and I'm just not sure how much, if any, Rafa Nadal will see. You told me he's getting a hip scope.
We had it done.
Okay.
And he's struggling with the recovery. So, a hip scope, much like other joints, you can do surgery in a hip through tiny little holes these days, and it's been 15 years or so, or maybe 20 that we've been doing that. But,
yeah.
Apparently, he had a labrum tear, which is similar to the shoulder, where you can repair that gasket to get rid of that catching pain in the hip. But he also had some other things, apparently. And certainly if you have some arthritic changes in there from wear and tear, it may not recover quite as well as you expect. But he's seemingly struggling with that.
I mean, age starts to play into this, right?
Sure.
Well,
that's what I say.
Can Rafa Nadal reach a level of health that he could win another major? Or is it too early to say? I mean, how old is Rafa? Give me an age check, please. Rafael Nadal? Got to be at least mid-30s, maybe even late 30s.
Yeah, I think he's late 30s.
Yeah.
Probably. Could he? Sure. But you throw in injuries and having surgery and not recovering well, it puts a little question mark there for sure.
37.
How much? 37?
He'll be 38 in June.
Yeah. Yeah, so really by the time we get to Wimbledon, it'll be 38. And how long will this keep him out, by the way, if he is struggling? Will he be able to play this calendar year?
Well, he is. I think he's probably 3 months, 4 months from his surgery. And
so he's trying to play through it.
He's trying to play through it, and it's not working. So he in all likelihood, came back too quick. Or, to your point, he has some degenerative changes in there that aren't going to let him come back all the way.
Doc, do they do research on recovery time for NFL and what constitutes safe or unsafe? Because it either the NFL is the biggest bunch of hypocrites in history, or that research doesn't tell you what maybe your common sense would want to tell you, that you can't play a football game 4 days after another and it be safe. So where do you fall on that?
Well,
and I bring this up because the NFL this year is going to give you a couple of Wednesday games, and I know they try and arrange the schedule around. So I may be speaking out of turn, but I do know there's plenty of Sunday, Thursday turnarounds. We've been talking about it forever, and how do you come up with, I don't know, the research or the evidence that tells you, yeah, the body's clear to go with no extra risk of injury?
Well, you're talking about timing from one game to the other. There's certainly studies that look at the injury rate of that, but there's so many variables in that it's really not hard data to say that if you have this particular injury that you shouldn't play a game, or if you have no injuries, that if you play
what's natural recovery for a body?
Yeah,
for that kind of thing.
Yeah, again, there's no way to determine that.
And by the way, like a lot of people say, I can remember we'd go play like a flag football tournament once a year. We go play the first day, you feel great, you're running great, you're doing good, and you wake up the next morning, you can't even move your legs, you're so sore. That's not what NFL players' bodies are conditioned to be. They don't get as sore as say we would.
Correct,
yeah.
but
certainly, don't get me wrong. I'm not underselling.
When you play in that game, the next day or two, you're sore for sure.
Yeah.
But they've managed that.
Yeah.
But they manage it on a specific cycle. They do their ice bath. They do their their oxygenation tents, all these things that they do, and they do that in sequence. These guys are pretty tuned to do their routine. So the more when you throw them off the routine and change that, it affects them. And is it medically an effect? Probably not. It's more, I think it's not a physiologic effect to them. I think it's more their mental ability to recover that quickly.
Is it safe to assume and give the benefit of the doubt to the NFL that a lot of study and research goes into putting 2 games on a Wednesday, or were they like, oh, well, Wednesday's a Christmas, we'll make it work and jam it in there?
No. There's studies.
You can learn at least enough to know that.
Yeah.
Players Association probably not super happy about that. Okay, Major League Baseball fans, you're going to love this one. Load management is apparently MLB's next big thing. NBA teams have been tracking this kind of stuff, or the effect on the body. I say this up because I bring this up because the Braves sat Ronald Acuna last night, just a day of rest. Not something. By the way, I can complain about basketball players and load management. It certainly makes a lot more sense if you're playing the 4th game in 8 days of NBA basketball. A Major League Baseball player needs a day of rest like I need a headache. They stand around for 3 hours, bat and sprint about a minute and a half combined. There is no need for load management, is there, in baseball? We got another chart, though, and it's looking like baseball is going to start instituting that term load management into our consciousness as well. MLB teams apparently becoming obsessed with it. In baseball, the discussion about keeping position players on the field and performing their best, teams monitor everything players do, yada, yada, yada. David Bell, the skipper of the Reds. I've taken a lot of interest in my second career as a manager. As a player, you think you're invincible and can play every day, but the grind of the season in baseball is an extreme challenge. Over time, it's compounded. The grind is harder. The game is more difficult. Yeah. Tell that to the boys that were hopping on a train there, David, and going from Kansas City to Chicago to play a doubleheader at noon. Golly, man.
Tell that to the ranger climbing up the mountain to go chase some bad guys. Stop it.
Thank you.
Stop it.
And then we get into the shading. There is no other sport that demands its athletes take the field as often as professional baseball does. They leave the part out, and there is no other sport where you're an inactive participant in an athletic event like baseball. You could literally go out to right field in a baseball game, some games, and never move, especially if you choose not to back up the first baseman. And you're gonna swing the bat sometimes 4 or 5 times the whole game. Here it comes, though. You got to leave this to your individual, but I'm sure players want to play. So I bet you Acuna last night. I don't know if it's load management, but baseball. Here's the dangerous part about that. Baseball, more than any other, can afford to sit guys. They can afford. I mean, they got a long schedule, and they got a lot of other good players. They got the right pitching matchup. I could sit a guy, and it won't make a bit of difference. All right.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if the NBA has any data, and I don't know of any, to show that there's less injuries with this load management thing they instituted than not.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if there's any difference.
Well, I don't think there's much because, remember, last year the NBA kind of backed off and said you can't do that. Like they put in parameters of how, you can't sit this much and still be considered for MVP. You can't sit this much. And so that would tell me that their research says, come on, man. And the NBA players, they're rich too because they make the most of any athlete. For those guys to not want to play games because they got an ouchie, it's just gross. Old pro. I'd love to see.
Or if they don't, is worse when they just want to prevent getting their minor injury.
I would love to see just the old school professional, just as a team of ghosts, just come back and just start beating A. Just walk into the arena tonight for the playoff game. Just a bunch of dudes from the 30s.
Get Bill Lambier
or the
back
60s even. The Braves have a couple of injuries that are annoying me. Sean Murphy, their catcher, injured himself in his first swing of the year or in batting practice before the first game, and it was like a abdomen. They didn't really say. Core injury. Swinging the bat. He has not played yet this year. It's May. It's been a month and a half. How much longer can we realistically? Is there something worse that they're not telling us? Is he getting the Fred Taylor treatment? Do we think it could be one thing when it's actually much worse?
Well, if he injured himself swinging a bat, obviously to your point, it's going to be some core injury. That worst case, it's a sports hernia that he ends up having surgery on. So hopefully they've determined that it is or isn't that. at this point. But to your point, it's a long time to sit for that.
Well, and here's what's scary if you're a Braves fan. Austin Riley has missed the last 3 games after the same thing happened. He did his in batting practice and then didn't tell the team and tried to play, and he made it worse in his first at-bat a few nights ago. I think it was actually on the road at the Mets for that. But, yeah, the Braves just continue to, But
those injuries can be, for
I would
baseball
think,
in
especially because
particular,
you're doing a lot of this.
Yeah, that's legit painful when they try to do the rotational activities.
Yeah, for sure. What you got? You got anything else? Where are we going today? What are we doing?
Center One Clinic.
Center One, baby. Clinicked up. Doc Kevin Murphy, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, jacksportsdoc.com. Doc, appreciate you. We'll see you next Thursday.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, when we come back, let's check in on the ACC Media Days with an FSU perspective. Still going to go through the schedule and save you any hassle of actually going to the games. I'll tell you exactly. Maybe I'll add another wrinkle this year, Ian. I'll actually give the scores of the games.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's become too easy for me just to tell you whether they're going to win or lose each week. I'll even put a score on it if you want me to.
Light work.
Yeah, I probably won't do that. Who am I kidding? This is The Drill. It's Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
I want the truth.
The truth? He's not afraid to tell the truth.
You want the truth?
Rick Ballou is the truth teller.
You and SpongeBob are honestly like my biggest influences ever, dude.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou.
Evenings on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
All right, gang, first things first here. You got to be 18 or over and be in a state here in Florida where Underdog Fantasy operates, right? And if you're concerned ever with any part of your fantasy game or otherwise, call 1-800-GAMBLER. You know, but if you want to have a little fun, put a little spice into the game, put a little action. I thoroughly enjoy Underdog Fantasy. It's back in Florida with champions. Very easy to navigate. Go to the App Store, download the Underdog Fantasy app, and it's real simple. I'm even going to give you a bonus. Listen, I just took the hit myself. I wanted to play. So simple. Higher or lower each day to certain projections. Yeah, I swung and missed last night. Man, I'm a sucker for going higher. I'm learning it's better to go lower, but you do you. And you can do you, well, thanks to me. Are you ready to see what it takes? Download the Underdog Fantasy app today and prove it. Sign up with promo code PROSSER. Receive your player's special plus a deposit offer. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code PROSSER, and good luck.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com, then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
There's a name you can trust when it comes to servicing your AC system. Bold City Heating and Air, a family-owned Jacksonville company focused only on the local community. And since the extreme summer temperatures are almost here, schedule your summer maintenance today with Bold City Heating and Air. Don't be fooled by the out-of-towners, equity firms, and national corporations that use local names. Trust the AC company born in the Bold City. That's boldcityac.com.
Make your outdoor living perfect with Art of Natural Stone. Pavers, patios, gravel, pool decks, and more. Using all natural stone design, and they do the installation. Visit Art of Natural Stone on Route 1 near Bartram Springs or on Beach Boulevard.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Let's go! Don't you dare miss the Jacksonville Sharks calming the storm this weekend. They're going to beat that Sioux Falls storm. You bet. Saturday, May 18th, 7 o'clock at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Let's go! With tickets as low as $15, you're not going to find Saturday family affordable fun anywhere else. Call 904-621-0700 or go to jacksharks.com. Dress as your favorite superhero or villain for the Sharks Superhero Night and help the Sharks smash their opponent. All educators, buy one ticket, get one free. Join us for Shark Fest before the game. 5 o'clock, a pregame party, and rock the tank. Let's go! Don't miss opening night of the season. This Saturday, May 18th, 7 o'clock in the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Be a part of indoor football fun and exciting, non-stop action. Let's go! For tickets as low as $15, call 904-621-0700. And don't forget your cape. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Kuhn Flowers. The NFL schedule was released yesterday, and now the Jaguars will open the season for the fourth consecutive time outside Jacksonville. Jags start the season in Miami. Also, once again, the team will have 2 games in London. PGA Championship gets underway today from Valhalla Golf Club in Kentucky. 3-time champ Brooks Koepka is feeling good about his game.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel like my game's in good shape right now. It's be interesting to see how the course plays, but yeah, it's a good track, big boy golf course.
You can hear live PGA updates throughout the day on 1010XL. 8 different Jumbo Shrimp hitters reached base, but the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp fell to the Nashville Sounds in 10 innings Wednesday at home. Jacksonville and Nashville will continue the series this evening at 7:05 p.m. from 1-1 Financial Ballpark. And that's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
At 8:11, it's 71 degrees. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
All right. Everything's like nice and peaceful and optimistic. We've got a schedule. We've got a game plan for our Jacksonville Jaguars. You'd like to think things could be nice and peaceful and set up moving forward in Tallahassee, where FSU had an unbelievably good football season a year ago. It just continued to trend from the way the 2022 season ended. They got screwed by the selection committee, but nonetheless, Mike Norvell remains optimistic that his program has arrived. And then you get to the ACC meetings, and you're just reminding how contentious things have become between the conference and its members. So Logan Robinson of Noles Game Day joins us now to help fill us in just a little bit. Logan, good morning. Thanks for being with us. You got me in there? There we go. Thanks for being with us, Logan.
Hey there. How are you doing? Good morning. Good morning.
Doing great.
I was just doing good.
Look, it doesn't seem at all in any parameter or in any scope to be a matter of if. It's just a matter of when. What is your best guess on when FSU and most likely Clemson and perhaps others are out of the ACC?
Ooh, I feel like for Florida State and the fan base, they want it as early as it can be. They're fed up with the ACC. That's always a discussion. End game, postseason, whenever. The ACC network. There's just so many aggravating things. I think the fan base is tired of, where FSU was dealt, how they're not appreciated as they should be. Clemson's run changed a lot of things, and now Florida State needs, Clemson to jump on board with them to get out of this conference. And I think it's going to be another year or so, another year. There's just so many legal things that are holding them back. So they're granted rights. Florida State believes that this is going to cost close to $500 million to fully get out of the ACC. So it's going to take a while. You've got so many things going on with lawyers. You've got different locations for court hearings. It's just going to be a little while. But Florida State is making moves, and Alford, Florida State's athletic director, Michael Alford, has put in a lot of work, has put in a separate team to handle all of this, and it's coming along, but it's going to take a little bit longer than maybe fans may expect.
In a perfect world, where would FSU fan like for the Noles to land? What conference?
I think as a fan, you want to stick around in the Southeast and you go to SEC. That's where I believe most of the fans, at least in Florida State's fan base, would like to be, just because of the geographic part of it, how close you are to these teams like Alabama, already Georgia, Tennessee. There's so many different. There's just a better kind of route for Florida State to go in that regard. If you go Big Ten, yes, that's probably maybe more money in your pocket, but your travel is definitely a lot more farther if you're a fan and plan on traveling to some games throughout the season, and definitely a little bit more cold as well. But I think SEC would be the route that I think most of the fan base would like to go.
I mean, if I'm FSU and Clemson, I mean, I almost just sue the ACC for dereliction of duty along with it. The embarrassment that the conference suffered during all this relocation is never going to go away. The stench of adding Cal and Stanford, while the real, while the big boys are adding, I don't know, the Oregons and USCs, while the Texases and Oklahomas, to go get Stanford, SMU, and Cal, you're basically, what are we, starting a new debate league? What are we doing? And so I just, for a conference that's trying to keep its heavyweights, if indeed they were, I can't think of a worse move. They'd have been better off jumping the Big 12 the year before and bringing UCF and Cincinnati in, for Pete's sake. So, I mean, I don't know what's happened to some of these conferences in their leadership, but it seems like they've lost all common sense when it comes to sports fandom. I mean, is that part of it? What was the reaction to this newfangled ACC, which really didn't add anything for a fan, really, for a league, you wouldn't think?
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up, because Florida State actually is after the ACC because of that, adding those three teams with Stanford, California, and SMU. They're after the ACC because of, breaching that duty there that, we did not expect for these teams to be joining our conference. That was not the game plan, and that, should override and help it in Florida State's favor as a university to try to get out of the ACC. They're using as many things as they can, but the ACC also did not help itself by adding these three new teams into the conference. And so that makes some things awkward there, and that allows for Florida State to have some moves there on their front, along with some of the other schools that took a little while to join Florida State's force, and, realizing, this 2036 deal that was signed so long ago is so outdated. It just doesn't help anybody in the conference overall. Florida State made its move first, and then it took a little while, then Clemson decides to hop on board. It's funny then, when Clemson decides to hop on board, a lot of the national attention isn't at Clemson, whereas when Florida State made its move, they were getting roasted for it, getting a lot of social media hits. It's just the biggest thing for Florida State is just stay down and try to get out of this conference that has continued to use the university, the program, and that logo for ratings and everything, and they're just not getting money in their pocket on the back end.
Let me give you an objective, no dog in the fight, no FSU rooting interest. I don't know, observation on my behalf. This is such an important bridge year for Mike Norvell, because this is the first time you're really having to turn over the when I say talent, I mean like 10 guys drafted talent. It's the first time you're really having to fill, and I mean significant holes at important positions. Rush end, corner, quarterback. These are important positions. And so for the Noles, who finished so strong in 22, had such a great year in 2023, if they can bridge this year and be like a playoff team, then I think you might set yourself up to be in kind of that Alabama, Georgia, pattern, the pattern that Clemson stayed in for so long. Now, in the same breath, I would tell you from my perspective of not knowing the roster and the team as well as you do, that seems to be a little bit taller task than my average FSU friend is considering. So give me your take on the state of the roster in this important bridge season, because again, if they can make it through this season with 1 or 2 losses or a conference championship and a trip to the playoffs, then I think it makes the next however many years that much easier. If they don't, then you might have to start, building back some equity. So give me your thoughts from inside the city over there.
Well, Florida State was very busy once again in the transfer portal. Mike Norvell does not stop there whatsoever. And, he finds one-year starters that end up getting drafted like we just saw. And this year's draft, going back to Jermaine Johnson. This year, of course, you look at some guys like Keon Coleman. But, yeah, like you were saying, you lost your quarterback. You lost your big star running back with Trey Benson. You had a handful of defensive players, too, that were absolute studs. So that's now gone. Those guys are off in the league. And I think for Florida State, just being at practice before the spring, I guess you can say game, but it's really called the spring showcase, where it's practically just a glorified practice in front of everybody in Doak. I think the biggest thing for me from what I took away is that Florida State's going to have to look for some continued leadership. I think with those guys leaving, I think we missed out that, Florida State had some playmakers. They had some talent. These guys were, doing a lot of things on the field, but off the field is something that Florida State needs quite a bit, and a lot of their position groups, and they need leadership. And I think that's something that we're going to find out pretty early on in the season and might be missing a tad bit, but Florida State's got to have some guys step up in that regard, because there is talent, there's young talent, there's a lot of young talent that played last season too, but there's got to be some true leadership. And I think with DJ Uyunglele coming in, he has a veteran experience, but he's not the biggest vocal guy. But also, Jordan Travis wasn't the biggest vocal guy either. He wasn't a guy that's over here talking a ton. He would admit to it. Hey, I'm not a big talker. Until his last season, he was a lot more vocal, I'd say. But, DJ's in that kind of same realm. He keeps to himself for the most part, but when he needs to be vocal, he will be. But so you're not going to find that true on vocal kind of leadership there. It's got to come from some other guys that have been around the program for a longer time, like a Lawrence Toa Philly, kind of going to be that big guy starting running back in 2024. That's exactly what Florida State needs, I think, to help bridge that gap that you lost so much of that talent going to the NFL draft and draft free agency. There's just so much. There's talent there. We've just got to see some leadership show up. And I think that's something that I saw when I was in Tallahassee, a lack of. There's got to be some fix. And it's only the spring, and that can change, but you've got to have that. Because guys like Jared Burst, Fabian Lovett, like I was saying earlier with Jordan Travis, Trey Benson, these guys really held that team together and kind of put them at a point of, hey, here's the line. You're not going to cross that line. How it's going to be on a weekly basis.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Well, it should be another good season for FSU. I think the schedule's conducive to getting off to the kind of quick start that you want to in a bridge year. And again, Logan, you're kind of like the rest of us. FSU is going to be leaving at some point. Just how quickly can they get to that point? Appreciate you taking some time this morning. Good stuff. Have a great rest of the day.
Yes, thank you for having me. Have a great rest of your week.
You betcha. All right, that's Logan Robinson on the All-Pro Roofing Hotline here. As to that schedule, it's like they looked into a crystal ball a few years ago and went ahead and put a future schedule out in what would be a bridge year. There are 4 defining games by my count for Florida State this year. None of them come before the month of October. You get to open with Georgia Tech in Ireland. I would say that's your toughest of the first 5. Some may argue at SMU. And therein lies the rub. If you're FSU and where you are, you want to be playing big boy football with the big boys. Your toughest game can't be at SMU. Nobody who plays big boy football says that after 6 weeks. Nobody's toughest game after 6 weeks in big boy football, the Big 12 or the SEC or the Big 10. Nobody has their toughest game having been SMU. Just doesn't happen. Georgia Tech, Boston College. Ugh. Ireland for Georgia Tech. I'd be a little wary of that one. Tech can play football. And at the first game of the year, they can always surprise someone, especially with FSU and all the changes that have been made. But Tech at noon from Dublin, I believe, on August 24th. Then you got Boston College, Labor Day weekend at home. Memphis at home. Cal at home. at SMU. And then your four defining games really are in the back half of the schedule. October 5th, you're home against Clemson. October 26th, you're at the U. November 9th, you're at Notre Dame. And November 30th, Thanksgiving weekend, you're at home against the Florida Gators. So it's conducive. I think that FSU needs to start 5-0. I think if they don't start 5-0, it's going to be a disappointing year. I think they're going to lose 3 or 4 games. Because the FSU team that we've seen for about its last 20 regular season games, maybe a few less than that, the last 16 or 18, goes 5-0 against that schedule. But as what Logan said and what we've said, there's also an awful lot that needs to be replaced. Billy Napier for Florida hit in the transfer portal yesterday. Cormani McClain, who you may have heard about by now, but recognized as one of the top players available in the portal overall. All the big boys were after him, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, down the line, name a big program, and they were calling Cormani McClain after he decided to leave Colorado, but apparently he's agreed to join Billy Napier in Gainesville, so just another piece to a roster that Napier described this week as a lot more stabilized than it's been in the first few years. It's the opposite when it comes to scheduling for Florida. And this means no disrespect. You play the schedule you want. To FSU's credit, they want out of this dog with fleas league and these terrible games. They're tired of playing Wake Forest and NC State and Duke. I get it. They want to go play big boys. They want to prove. So nothing but credit. But this schedule's dog meat, man. Even the cruddy Gators the last few years could win 8 or 9 with this schedule. And FSU now at this point doesn't want that. Look, if you're mediocre, if you're a Florida fan right now, give me this schedule. See if I can't go 10-2. I don't want this one. It's got Texas, Georgia, and LSU, and every godforsaken football power in the South, it feels like. But yeah, Georgia Tech in Dublin, Boston College at home, Memphis at home, Cal at home, at SMU. And I know I can just hear the text line. Well, yeah, be careful. Memphis is good. They could lose at Memphis. If you're any good, you're damn sure not losing to Memphis at home or SMU. Stop it. If you're posturing as a team on the rise, if you're the University of Florida, yeah, they could lose those games. But if you were going to scream in one breath that they should have put you in the playoff, you have to scream in the other that these first 5 games are walk-through gimmies. That's all I'm saying. I have decided in the 9 o'clock hour I am going to amaze you with my skills of prognostication, and I'll go through this Jaguar schedule one by one. I'm going to hit some of the highlights when we come back on the other side. I hate to go through a whole segment of the drill this morning and not mention the Jaguar schedule. I've discovered a few oddities, some peculiarities. Also, John Shipley has picked the games, his predictions. I'll give you his when we come back on the other side, and then the absolutely, positively correct predictions, a guarantee of the exact record from yours truly coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. It's a custom Tree Surgeon Thursday. You're listening to The Drill on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
Choose your social channel. Twitter at 1010XL, Facebook at 1010XL, Instagram at 1010XL, TikTok at 1010XL, YouTube at 1010XL. 1010XL is there.
Your home value is way up, and you can use that money right now. Pay off credit cards, remodel your house, both, whatever you want. Prosser here for Loan Pronto. Loan Pronto can convert that home equity into cash in as little as 2 weeks with no cost to you and zero hassle. Mike and Joan in Ponte Vedra called Loan Pronto. They did a Loan Pronto zero-cost cash-out refi. They got a check for $100,000, used $50 to pay off all their credit cards and a car loan, and used the other $50 to upgrade their master bath and kitchen. They locked in new APR in the 2s and lowered their total monthly bills by hundreds of dollars. Hello? What are you waiting on? Call Loan Pronto now. Convert your home value into cash and put that money to good use. Do it now, and you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally
finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry, this free examination, normally $199, is yours for free and good only through Sunday. For your free examination, call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Call now.
Discover luxury on your terms at Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville. Drive away today in style.
Boasting North Carolina's largest selection of Cadillacs, we have your dream car waiting.
Experience the future with Cadillac Lyric, redefining luxury electric vehicles at the starting price of $44,988.
With over 50 to choose from, and this exclusive offer, the luxury of a Cadillac is more attainable than ever.
And rest assured, every Cadillac is backed by our dedication to outstanding customer service.
Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, plus tax tag title $899 admin fee and resistance.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREZ. Zero Res.
What's up? I'm Patrick Young. If you're a business owner, make your plans to attend the Florida SBDC Network Small Business Success Summit, August 19th and 20th at the Sawgrass Marriott in Ponte Vedra. You'll network with other Florida business owners, learn marketing and operational strategies. Plus, I'll deliver an inspirational keynote message. There's also a reverse trade show event where you can speak with government agencies to explore their business partnerships. Register online at floridasbdc.org, and I will see you there.
You've been waiting for the big reveal.
Join 1010XL all day Thursday.
Sounds like a plan. Analysis of this year's schedule is brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning, and renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors.
Hold on tight, because All Pro Roofing is unleashing some electrifying news. Brace yourselves for instant excitement. Instant Roof Quotes are here. Simply surf over to their website and hit the Instant Roof Quote tab. Boom! That's your ticket to a lightning-fast estimate. Head over to allproroofingllc.com. Click that Instant Roof Quote tab. What are you waiting for? Click on the Instant Roof Quote tab today at allproroofingllc.com.
License number CCC 1327056.
CDC 060138.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and summer's here on the First Coast. You know, long days, short sleeves, lazy summer afternoons, and soaring temperatures that can do a number on your AC. But do what I did and plan ahead with an expert AC tune-up from Fenwick Home Services to avoid those costly summer breakdowns. If you've heard me say it once, you've heard it 1,000 times. Hope is not a plan. That's why Fenwick Home Services has you covered 24/7 with same-day service, including maintenance plans, free same-day estimates, and guaranteed repairs. Book online at FenwickHomeservices.com. That's FenwickHomeservices.com.
The Sign and Drive Green Tag event continues, offering 0% for 84 months with no money down on a John Deere compact utility tractor with loader. Limited time offer. Visit your local Ag Pro today. Offer ends May 31st, 2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Discover the difference that local expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Visit their showroom at the Avenues and browse high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Man, I didn't realize that FSU was Georgia. I'm going to the text line here. I'm sorry, FSU fan, that I brought on somebody to talk FSU football for for a segment. I won't do that again. I won't make that mistake again. Y'all a bunch of butthurt crybabies. We just did 15, 20 minutes on FSU football. I mentioned the reality that this year's schedule is soft as a baby's rear end, and you people lose your mind. How'd the Georgia game go, by the way? Way to represent in the bowl game. Way to prove everyone how wrong they were to keep you out. Way to watch all your players sit, not give a crap about your school, and you lose 63-3. Way to dominate Florida by about 7 points. The worst Florida team in 10 years. Y'all get over yourself, man. Yeah, that's unreal. E.T., it's unreal. Go out of your way to talk some FSU this morning, to get some insight on all these people here. We beat Florida. Oh, enough, man. I'm done. I'm done with y'all. Pest of the day. There's certain memory, and you're not all like that. You guys are unreal, man. By the way, you're not Georgia or Alabama. You don't have the right, after 1 year where college football decided even undefeated you're not good enough, just start talking down to everybody. The story is the ACC is because of that schedule, you morons. I'm supplementing your argument, and you take offense. It's unreal, man. Y'all are unreal. Act like you've been to the end zone one daggum time. Remember that you lost your last game 63-3. 63-3. A daggum seventh team on your team should not lose 63-3. Yeah, there's the want to, care, and commitment for you right there. Way to finish strong, boys. Come on, man. Hey, next time, next time I'm here and we're trying to do stuff, and I say, hey, man, let's get an FSU guy to talk on and say, hey, Price, you don't want to do that. Do that.
I got you.
Yeah.
That's work I got to do.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it. I was looking at, here it is. So the Jaguars schedule, there's some interesting things on there. Like I noticed I noticed, to me, there's two meaty stretches that are going to define you. The first 4 games, the Jags open with 4 playoff teams, 3 of them on the road. No favors out of the gates. At Miami, Cleveland at home, at Buffalo, at Houston. That Houston game's important. Houston's got 3 very winnable games out of the gates. I mean, are you going to go to Houston, say 1-2, and they're 3-0? You better not lose that game. You're 3 games out before you've ended September. So I think that stretch there, at Miami, Cleveland here in Jacksonville, at Buffalo, at Houston. The Buffalo game, a Monday nighter. So that's a really tough start here, and you do not want to start 0-2 or 1-3. You don't, and I'm not saying they will. When, the easiest of the games is a home game against Cleveland, who won a playoff game a year ago. I don't know, man. Makes it, or did they lose their playoff game, actually? So I noticed that. That's an interesting dynamic. Another, a little bit of an oddity, all 6 division games, ET, are back-to-back. In other words, in September, you're at Houston, and then you're Indy at home. The next time you play a division game, you're Houston at home, and then you're at Tennessee. And then you finish the season, Tennessee at home, at Indianapolis. So the 6 division games this year are split up so that they're all back-to-back. So I thought that was kind of, odd. The second big chunk of the schedule, like I said, those first 4 are tough and hard, and I think in many ways will define the year. There's another segment in the middle. I think the same thing applies. It begins October 27th at home against Green Bay and finishes December 1st at home against Houston. The Jags will play Green Bay at home. They'll go play at Philly in a Sunday night football game. They'll play the Vikings at home. They'll have to go play at Detroit, not on Thanksgiving. Then they'll have to play Houston at home. So Green Bay, at Philly, Minnesota, at Detroit, Houston. You got that 5-game stretch. And then at the top, the 4, again, at Miami, Cleveland, at Buffalo, Monday night, at Houston. They get 2 primetime games, a Monday nighter at Buffalo early in the year, a midseason game at Philly on Sunday Night Football. And they also get the 2 London games, which will, both be self-standing. They're just far from primetime. They're 9:30 in the morning, which would probably be about the exact opposite of what a TV executive would consider primetime. 9:30 in the morning might be I wonder what the least watched hour in television is every day. You might be hitting about that 9:30 sweet spot. I'm not kidding. Of course, the NFL is a whole different animal, and with fantasy football and everything else, I think the entire football world will be well aware of our Jaguars in their back-to-back London games, just like they did last year. Hopefully they can do the same thing. All right, so again, I'm going to go through and put my name on it. I'll take some receipts here, and I'll give you wins and losses coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. But I like I said, the potential is certainly there. You could play decent football and start 1-3, but Indy at home could get you to 2-3, and then at Chicago, New England, that's a nice little double dose of London football. That's a nice one for Jacksonville. Those are two rookie quarterbacks, two bad teams that pick near the top of the draft. They'll have a little bit of seasoning by then, but I still say if you looked at the Jaguars' schedule and you took a home opponent and a road opponent, those are two pretty good ones to have placed there in London. Speaking of London, Mark Lamping was on the Frangie show yesterday. The topic of London came up, certainly with this new they were at the community meeting where I've been told that most people showed up in really vocal support for the Jags, and they should. This is a win-win for the city. There's nothing bad about this deal with the Jaguars. Not a thing. It's all positive. And there are many reasons the Jags want to play in London, and they're starting to see some, effects of playing there, including when it comes to the job market.
This isn't a one-way street in terms of that game. You can talk to many, many people who can point to how important this is for Jacksonville and the number of jobs that have been created in Jacksonville, facilitated by introductions that have been made and awareness of Jacksonville that has been created by the Jaguars playing in London.
So yeah, there you go. That's Mark Lamping. All right, here we go. Let me go through Ship. Got you like a spider monkey. Here's Ship's picks. John Shipley. I bring him up because with SI.com and a beat reporter on with the guys here on Jaguars Today quite often. Visited with us as well. He and D-Rock and the boys, they do a good job. Demetrius, all of them. Don't mean to leave anyone out. All right. But here's how the season will go according to Ship. That gets old, doesn't it? At Miami, got a loss. Cleveland at home, got a win. Buffalo, Monday Night Football, got a win. At Houston, says a loss. Home against Indy, says win. At the Bears, Tottenham Hotspur, that's a win. New England in Wembley, that's a win. Hey, 5-2. I think we're pretty happy, E.
Sounds good.
5-2 coming home to play the Packers. Ship says loss, 5-3.
Dang.
At the Eagles, Sunday Night Football, loss, 5-4.
Dang.
Vikings at home, win, 6-4. At the Lions, loss, 6-5. After a bye week, home against the Texans, a win, 7-5. At the Titans, a loss. You're going to have upset wins and losses. I mean, wherever. It seems like at Tennessee would be a smart place to put it, since we always seem to choke there. At the Titans, a loss, 7-6. Jets at home, a loss, 7-7. At the Raiders, a win, 8-7. Home against the Titans, a win, 9-7. And at Indy, a win, 10-7. Okay. I wish I had done mine first. Mine looks an awful lot like Ship's does. An awful lot. It's not going to match up exactly the same, but I will make it official coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. I landed on 10 or 11. Now, I do admit this. I go optimistic. If you're going to give me a 40-60 chance, I'm going to, this time of year, ride an optimistic path. So I may end up at 11-6. Just real quickly going through it, though, I'm stuck on double digits at least, something that even with 2 winning years they have not done, at least not in the regular season. All right, let's come back and continue. It's time to check in on the PGA Championship. The golfers are on the golf course, and now some of the bigger boys are making their way out there as well. So I'll update you on the leaderboard and share with you, because I know you're dying to hear it, the odds on who will be Rory McIlroy's next girlfriend. I brought this up in the 6 o'clock hour, but it's been a while now. This list contains one name that's very curious to me. So that and more when we return. It is a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday on 1010XL.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here. Hard work, conviction, know-how, and talent. That's who we are. This is 1010XL, and this is what we do. Imported from Jacksonville.
Why Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned? I'll tell you why. Over 600 vehicles in stock. One location. Check this out. More than 275 SUVs, over 200 cars, over 110 pickups. Arlington Pre-Owned even has 125 vehicles under $18,000. Plus, you get 60 days to love your purchase or exchange it, and Arlington's Credit for Everyone program. Oh, and did I mention? The Summer Starts Here sales event is going on right now, even on used. Shop 10939 Atlanta Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
So one of life's most important decisions, if you're 18 years or older, you just got married, you just got divorced, you have children, you likely want to take care of your family. Of course you do. Hicken here from Matt Hinson in the Hinson Law Firm. I'm not the attorney yet. But have you done your last will? It's not the most comfortable thing. It's not the most fun thing to do. It's something you need to do besides getting your assets to the people that you want them to go to. Planning helps minimize income, gift, and estate taxes as well. Matt Hinson will listen to help you with some tough decisions. He'll provide you the info needed so you are at ease with your choice. The Hinson Law Firm. You have questions? Maddie's got answers. 904-527-1700. 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Stevie Beatrice from Beatrice Plumbing here. A lot of plumbing companies say a lot of things. We focus on what customers say. Like who a few weeks ago, Donna, said the entire experience was the best fix-it experience she ever had. Or Chris, whose hot water went out on a Saturday and he thanked us for getting it fixed that night. Because that's the difference when you hire a real plumber. They show up to fix the problem. So next time you need a plumber, remember Beatrice Plumbing. Because real plumbers fix problems real fast.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 16, 1985, after an incredible first year in the NBA with the Chicago Bulls, future Hall of Famer Michael Jordan was named NBA Rookie of the Year.
It's wins, losses, and predictions all day on 1010XL. Today's review of the NFL schedule is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, and Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost are the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 23rd.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners, Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley, have been helping first-time home buyers with their mortgage financing all over Florida for 34 years. First-time home buyers can get no or low down payments, anywhere from 0 to 3.5% down. As a first-time home buyer with Trustline Mortgage, you get added benefits for doing your loan with us, like lower rates on your mortgage insurance and lower closing costs. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Trustline gives first-time homebuyers better mortgage interest rates? Here's the bottom line. Trustline Mortgage wants to help first-time homebuyers accomplish your goal of home ownership. That's why Trustline Mortgage is offering the best first-time homebuyer benefits around, period. Trustline Mortgage delivers with no and low down payments, lower closing costs, and better interest rates. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. Yes, 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you buy your dream home. Or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing opportunity. MLS number 331480.
Hi, I'm David Lane, your average everyday Joe. I'm 5 months out of my back surgery with Southeast Orthopedic, and I'm doing great. Thanks to Dr. Herford and his staff at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels for Big Chief Tire. For over 60 years, Big Chief has been known for fair prices and quality service you can trust. Whether you drive an electric vehicle or a traditional car, they carry the best tire brands to keep you safe on the road. If you're ready to experience great service without breaking the bank, visit BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment at any of their 5 locations. 904-932-0950.
If you're heading to the Aug or you're already part of the nation's oldest, don't forget to drop into Sunset Grill. For over 30 years, serving up great chowder, seafood, wings, and cold beer. Sunset Grill, somewhere on A1A, St. Augustine Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I thank you to the FSU fans who appreciate the coverage and not the ones that just get so ultra hypersensitive that they can't. I don't know. They lose their mind. And then I had a Gator send me. This sums up FSU Nation according to one of my Gator texters this morning. It's a text that Danny Cannell sent out. A tweet that Danny Cannell put out after. This had to do with Dan Mullen. This came on 12/31/23, which is right before the Orange Bowl game. Danny Cannell, Mr. Knoll, said Dan Mullen last year admitted his team threw in the towel after the SEC championship game, and he seemed cool with it. When you allow quitting to become acceptable behavior, it becomes habit. Now, what happened like the day later in the Orange Bowl? Oh, I see. Did I get a follow-up tweet, maybe? You FSU fans, you're going to hit up Danny Cannell on that one? Why don't you go get him, boys? All right, here's the reality here, what we're dealing with. I don't know what's going on, but I smell something, I don't know what the right word is, but, wrong, maybe? I don't know. I just, because I look at these sort of things, maybe you have heard that Rory McIlroy's getting divorced. He filed for divorce from his wife. Last time Rory did something he was in like a 2-year engagement with Caroline Wozniacki. She was a tennis player. And they were real close to getting married, and he last second went, runaway bride, left her there and broke up, and then proceeded to have the best golf spurt of his career. Won 2 majors, had the best summer, went to number 1 in the world. So look out for Rory. He's been planning this divorce. Apparently, he's won his last 2 weeks, so watch out for him at PGA. And meanwhile, the London tabloids will keep watch on who his next girlfriend will be. That's right. Over there at sportsbetting.ag, as reported here by the Daily Mail, Paige Spiranak, the clubhouse leader, to be Rory McIlroy's next girlfriend. They've got her at 8-1. There's some other players on Emma Watson, the actress, is on there at 12-1. You can go down further. Kendall Jenner, Olivia Wilde, Olivia Culpo. Some of these people are married already. Some of these people make no sense. Cheyenne Woods makes absolutely no sense. She's 12-1. Paula Kramer, I haven't seen her in forever. I'm not even sure what she's doing. She's probably way older than Rory, isn't she? Oh, no, Paula Kramer started when she was young. Anyway, there are all these people on here, but way too high considering she's not really an entity. You'll find a CBS golf reporter. I said to myself, that's curious. On a list that has Paige Spiranak and Paula Kramer and Emma Watson and Kendall Jenner and Olivia Wilde and Kim Kardashian and Zendaya, Kylie Jenner, a list that includes, Lexi Thompson, Lindsey Vonn, Michelle Wee, Paulina Gretzky, Taylor Swift. I mean, it's got all these just really big, huge names on it. No, you go near the tops at the favorites, and whose name appears at 14-1 but Amanda Balionis. Now, do you know who Amanda Balionis is?
Negative.
Yeah, Amanda Balionis works for CBS Sports. She's their golf reporter. She interviews the players as they come off the course during the course of the round. They make her a little studio there. I like her. She does a great job. She's very pleasant. She seems very sweet, very professional. She got married like a couple years ago. She became Amanda Renner. Well, suddenly she's showing up with no wedding ring. On social media, she's now back to Amanda Balionis, not Amanda Balionis Renner. Rory is suddenly getting divorced, and she shows up as fifth favorite at 14-1. Yeah, I think I feel what's going on here. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to break any stories for the National Enquirer. I'm saying I got a married, very public golf analyst here, Amanda Balionis Renner, who has been sporting a 12-carat rock on her left hand in all her interviews for the last 2 years since getting married in March 22. And she suddenly is not Amanda Balionis Renner anymore. She's only Amanda Balionis. And I've got Rory McIlroy, who's married to this model hottie for the last however many years, got a kid, and he's suddenly divorced. And these two are now 14-1 to be each other's boyfriend and girlfriend? Huh? Yeah. I think you need to put Hunter down on Balionis at 14-1. That's what I would say. All right, let's take you out to the golf course. The early round leaders. Anders Schauffele's got an early birdie, so you can find him at 1 under par. Luke Donald. We got a Luke Donald sighting. He's 2 under as your leads along with Doug Gim. Guys that most likely won't be there by the end of the week. They're both 2 under. Those at 1 under include Anders Schauffele, Adam Havin. Look, guys are barely on the course through 4 or 5 holes at the most. And only 5 players are under par right now. Again, Schauffele, one of those at -1. Let's see, Ludwig Oberg. He's even, just played 2 holes. Justin Thomas is even. He's just played 2 holes. Tiger Woods has parred his first hole. He's even par. Adam Scott has parred his first hole. He's even par. Oh, we'll keep you updated on the happenings out on the golf course at the PGA Championship, golf's second major. Oh, I'm going to officially tell you exactly what's going to happen in this Jaguar season. Hey, you Knowles fans, I'll go through your schedule if you want me to. We're back with more next. It's Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
In times of old, the world was full of wonder and magic. But times change.
Get your wonder and magic on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Yeah. E to the T here, and the NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's the perfect time to elevate your game with MyBookie. With MyBookie, you can bet from anywhere, anytime, so you'll never miss a shot to cash in or cash out. What MyBookie has to offer? Let me tell you. Early cash outs, daily odds boosts, quick bet settlements, live game lines, and some. All you have to do is head over to MyBookie and use promo code 1010XL. That's right. Use promo code 1010XL to get you that special bonus deposit. I'm telling you, MyBookie trying to hook you up. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Come on, somebody.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Prosser here. As you may or may not know by now, I did the research and decided to go with Jack's Concrete Coatings for my garage floor. OMG, as the kids would say. I can't begin to tell you how good it looks, how happy we are. We brag on it anytime someone walks in the garage. They had the job finished in 1 day with a lifetime warranty. That's right. As the certified Pintech dealer for North Florida, the only company offering pure polyurea, I can't wait to do my patio deck next. Call 862-2000. That's the number, 862-2000, or jacksconcretecoatings.com.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon for QC Kinetics. This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do all the outdoor stuff you love to do, hiking, jogging, biking, playing on the beach. Don't go through summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints. You gotta call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 904-274-5522. Serving the Jacksonville area with locations in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra Beach. Again, this is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Again, Mandarin and Ponte Vedra Beach. Call QC Kinetics now, 904-274-5522. That's QC Kinetics.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Mark Watson for Hardball Creative. Free promo tip. Put your logo on golf balls and give them to clients who are bad golfers. More hacks equals more exposure. Trust me, it's science. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Let's go! Don't you dare miss the Jacksonville Sharks calming the storm this weekend. They're going to beat that Sioux Falls storm. You bet. Saturday, May 18th, 7 o'clock at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Let's go! With tickets as low as $15, you're not going to find Saturday family affordable fun anywhere else. Call 904-621-0700 or go to jacksharks.com. Dress as your favorite superhero or villain for the Sharks Superhero Night and help the Sharks smash their opponent. All educators, buy one ticket, get one free. Join us for Shark Fest before the game. 5 o'clock, a pregame party, and rock the tank. Let's go! Don't miss opening night of the season. This Saturday, May 18th, 7 o'clock in the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Be a part of indoor football fun and exciting, non-stop action. Let's go! For tickets as low as $15, call 904-621-0700. And don't forget your cape. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When you need help with any plumbing or septic issue, just give us a call and relax. We'll send one of our first-round draft picks to get the job done right. DuckDuckRooter.com. That's DuckDuckRooter.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. Look, obviously the warmer temperatures are already here. And if you're like me, you want that oppressive Florida heat to stay outside your house. That's why I'm such a fan of Pella Windows and Doors. By now we know that windows are the #1 way that heat gets in and the cold gets out. So when you're ready for the stylish design and energy efficiency that comes from Pella Windows and Doors, visit their showroom on Phillips Highway, just north of Bay Meadows, or you can always find them online at PellaJacks.com. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Jaguar President Mark Lampley, appearing on 1010XL's Franchi Show, shared the proposed stadium deal was a team effort.
It's been a collaborative effort. This doesn't happen without cooperation and the commitment, starting with the mayor and through her entire staff. For something to make sense, it has to work for all of us.
Kamani McLean, who signed with Colorado but left that program after one season, has committed to the Gators as a transfer, according to On3.com Sports. McLean's addition is significant as the Gators look to improve their play on defense. The city of Jacksonville, together with the Jaguars, continue to host the Stadium of the Future community huddles so that the public can learn more about the proposed stadium deal. Today's huddle will take place at the Legend Center from 6 to 8 p.m. The event is free and open to the public. And that's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
It's 9:02 and it's 74 degrees. Your time and your tip is brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Gookin Nation. It's It's another hour with Duval's Big Dogs of Sports Media. Dan Hicken.
Yes.
Jeff Prosser.
Blah, blah, freaking blah.
And E to the T.
E.T. is the GOAT producer. Platinum, we say. Forget gold, platinum. Text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Y'all so easy. They so easy, E.
Yeah, what happened?
Just in general. I'm happy, man. People don't read me right, E.
Nah,
I get all fired up, acting all silly, and I get ramped up in these rants. And how calm am I in the breaks? You think people probably think I get up and pace around, throw stuff, and yell and scream? Yeah, it's Duval, baby. We talking Jags. What about? Here's another little oddity. Maybe I looked at this wrong. Let me look one more time. I don't think I did. Let's see. Did I look at this? I did not look at this wrong. This is just weird. This has probably never happened in franchise history. We don't have back-to-back home games all year.
Oh, wow.
Like true home games. We don't have back-to-back home games all year. We have sandwiched around the London trip. We'll have a home game against Indianapolis. We'll go to London for 2 weeks, where New England will technically be a home game. Then we come home and play the Packers. So you can kind of dissect that a little bit and say, well, we got back-to-back home games with Indianapolis and then 3 weeks later, Green Bay. But there's two in between. Or you can say you have back-to-back home games because you have the Patriots in Wembley and then Green Bay. But like actual trips down to the stadium, back-to-back Sundays, we don't have that all year. It's a lot of back and forth, except for this grueling start, man. I know there's a lot of attention being paid to the middle part of the schedule. When you come back from London and you go Packers at the Eagles, 2 weeks later at the Lions, and then after a bye, the Houston Texans at home, that could really be where your positioning for the late season run takes hold. Look, when you get to the last month of the season, it's a lot more navigable for the Jags than it is the Texans. The Jags and Texans will meet December 1st in Jacksonville. From that point, the Jags go at the Titans, Jets at home, at the Raiders, Titans at home, at the Colts. The Texans, after they play here in Jacksonville, have Miami at home, at the Chiefs, the Ravens at home, and then at the Titans. So a much harder 5-game stretch that kicks off with the two teams facing each other. Point being, hang around. I'm looking at I got news for you. I'm just, maybe part of this is just playing the foil as the sports talk show host in the rival market, right? So part of me is going to talk down Houston, I guess. But I know, in all God's honest truth, I'm not buying what a lot of y'all are buying out there. My friends on my group text are picking Houston in the AFC Championship game. Oh, okay, settle down. And a lot of people use the argument of, well, Houston this year versus us last year, as far as our positioning, they went and got better this offseason. And that's fair. But you don't always know if a team's getting better. E.T., let me ask you a question. The Cardinals were coming off a playoff appearance. They had Kyler Murray, who they are getting ready to make a franchise quarterback. He's had a couple of good years in him. They go out and get DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt. Did they improve?
No, they did not.
That's right. So, yeah, they went and got Stephon Diggs and Danielle Hunter. Is that going to mean they improve? Maybe not. They also lost important pieces. So, look, I'm not sitting here telling you that Houston stinks. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think they're any more equipped to take stranglehold of this division than the Jaguars were a year ago when it went just painfully and terribly wrong. But the game is not to guess the Houston Texans schedule, but I'm just telling you that I look at their schedule. I think the Texans are going 10-7. I don't think they're going 13-4. I don't think they're going to the AFC Championship game. I got to see a lot more than 1 year out of them or anyone else. Maybe they are the Bills, and maybe Stroud is Allen, and maybe the Jags will have their chances and their spots with Trevor, but they're going to fall behind them over the next 10 years. I'm not saying that's not impossible. I don't know. But I think the Colts are also going to be in it. But two really important games for the Jags and Texans against each other. One finishes a schedule stretch. Another kicks off a schedule stretch. The Jags and the Texans are the the Jags and the Texans play the 4th game of the year in Houston. Okay, well, the Texans start at the Colts, the Bears and a rookie quarterback at home, and then at the Vikings and a rookie quarterback. It seems, likely that they'll be 3-0 when they host Jacksonville. The Jaguars, as we've mentioned, got to go to Miami. They got to play a playoff team, Houston, Cleveland at home, and then they got to go play Buffalo on Monday night and still have a short week going into that Houston game. So there's that game to sum up that key early season stretch, and then they'll kick off the late season stretch that will wrap things up where the schedule kind of flips and it looks like the Jaguars would have an advantage. The schedule itself, it's lived up to every bit of the interest and excitement that I had for it. And I'm going to run through the Jaguar schedule here in just a second and give you how it's going to go down. The low-down or the go-down. And by the way, our social media team, they're like NFL clubs. This is their Super Bowl. So, again, we'll do I'm sure every on-air personality here at some point is going to make their way to the green room and take our logos and put up wins and losses, and it'll live into perpetuity on social media. We did have playoff basketball last night. The Cavs just got so beat up. They don't have no one left. And the Celtics, I don't know how good the Celtics are. I mean, they seem good. They had the best record, the number 1 seed, but they're getting like the G League path to the finals. Miami didn't have Jimmy Butler. Didn't have Terry Rozier. They were not near good enough to beat the Celtics. By the way, Rory, soon to be Mr. Balionis, has made a birdie out of the gate, so he's got it to 1 under through 2.
Shout out Rory.
Hey, Rory, you go. Rory's hot, man. 1 under. I'm watching him here on 12. He started on the back. This is kind of where I like the streaming. Just fire up my ESPN Plus here. Rory he definitely is in a groove, man. I mean, he's won back-to-back weeks. That's another good shot. He'll have a birdie effort, so we shall see. I'm large on Rory this week as well. But yeah, the Celtics it's just gotten too easy. And the Cavs last night played without Donovan Mitchell. They played without Karis LeVert. They played without Jared Allen. I mean, they got nobody. It's the Hawks could have beat the Cavs last night. And so they've gotten 2 layups here. And then the Knicks, if the Knicks advance, it's going to be the same thing. The Knicks without Randall, the Knicks without Anunoby, the Knicks without Bogdanović, the Knicks with Jalen Brunson banged up. So the Celtics are just – and it's not like they're looking awesome doing it. I mean, it's hard to look down on a 15-point win, but it doesn't feel like they're just – oh, my gosh. And they're wondering about the futures of Donovan Mitchell and J.D. Bickerstaff in Cleveland as well. And I wonder if LeBron isn't planning a one more go-around with Cleveland. Would that shock you?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me either. Meanwhile, Luka found his game last night, 30-point triple-double. He's got like 5 of them already at his ripe young age. And Dallas wins a pivotal Game 5, and they dominated. They jumped out to a double-digit lead, and there wasn't that comeback wave that we've seen so much in the NBA this year and in the NBA playoffs. Caitlin Clark's debut in the WNBA for the Fever. It drew the biggest audience for a WNBA game since 2001. I guess this is good news, bad news. The bad news is that, well, you haven't really grown the game if you're not shattering any record. If it's only the record since then, I think it shows there's a lot of people get off the train between the Women's March Madness NCAA tournament and the boring, excruciating WNBA season. A lot of people jump off board. What was the millions for the record set by, do you remember, E?
For which one?
For the women's final.
Was it 20 million?
Something like that, 21 million, 19 million.
Something up there.
What do you think Caitlin Clark's WNBA debut on ESPN Tuesday night? What do you think the viewership was? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
It's the second most ever. So, or not the second most ever. It's the most since 2001.
Let's say, I don't know, 7 million?
2.1 million.
Okay.
Back to life, back to reality, ESPN. Still doesn't have the memo. Still don't have the memo, though. They'll keep serving those 2.1 million like they're 210 million that just watched the Super Bowl. but the debut did draw a 2.1 million, and that's across all platforms. That's not even a TV rating. So the TV rating is probably down there where that's also been less than 1 million. Meanwhile, the WNBA is still selling their shade. You know, they got the most social user impact. They got the most this, that, and the other. All right. Go get them, ladies. All right, you ready, E?
Let's do it.
Can I get some Jeff Nails the Jaguar schedule music? Thank you. This is brought to you by me. I will double down on this expertise on the social media posts. I see how Taylor Dahl operates, by the way. Braves beat the Cubs 2 games in a row. Taylor Dahl's a no-show around here till noon.
Ghost.
Cubs win the game yesterday, and she bebopping around here 9 a.m. I see what's happening. Just give me a little PTSD there. I don't like losing baseball games. It bothers me. The Jaguars open the season at Miami. These are two, I think, more evenly matched teams than we know, but it's a tough spot for a first-year defensive coordinator. Are they ready for the speed and the production of Miami, who always seems to play a lot better in 2 circumstances, at home and early in the year? Jags give it a swing. They lose 27-20 in Miami. We're 0-1. Jags come home. They play the Cleveland Browns. I like the Jags here. I'll go 23-17 Jags. I'm done. I'm not doing scores. Let's just go. You ready? We go to Buffalo. You ready? This is where I differ from people. The Jags do well with the Bills, man. I don't know what it is. The Bills last year lost one of these games early to someone they shouldn't have lost to. Remember the Bills and how they started?
Yeah, I remember.
I think it's going to be a really good Monday night game. It'll go down to the end, and I think the Jags will win the game, only because I keep watching them beat the Bills. Trevor's 2-0 against the Bills. Be the first time he faces them up there. It'll be a rowdy, Bills Mafia night. But listen, it's a good time to catch the Bills. They got to replace a bunch too, right?
Yeah, they do.
The Gabe Davis return there, by the way. So I got to. We're 2-1. Does that sound outrageous? Doesn't sound outrageous to beat the Bills.
No, it doesn't.
But you also have to balance that with dropping a game somewhere later that you might not really expect.
Wins and losses.
All right, you go to Houston. I think this year we reverse what we did last year. We'll beat Houston at home. We'll lose to them on the road. But that Bills game is so important because that'll get Houston to probably 4-0, maybe 3-1. The Jags will, be at 2-2 and be fine. Indy at home, I say that's a win. That's 3-2. At Chicago, New England, bingo, bango, bongo, win. We got 5 wins, eh? We're 5-2, man. I'm feeling good. I am going to say Green Bay at home and at Philly, we split. That gets us to 6 wins. I think the Vikings at home is a win. That's 7. I think the game at Detroit is a loss. I think the Texans at home is a win. That's 8. I say they split with Tennessee, lose there, win here. That's 9. I think they split between the Jets at home and the Raiders on the road. That's 10. And I think they beat the Colts in the finale. I'll go 11-6. I don't think I went crazy there, Ede. Is there anything that I like playing, when I'm looking at the schedule, I like playing the split game, right? You know what I mean? Like Green Bay at home at Philly. I think they'll go 1-1 there. I don't know which one they'll win or lose, but I think they'll go 1-1.
That's what I'm hoping for, at least.
Yeah, so you get some of these splits, like Tennessee home and away. I think they split. Houston home and away. I think and by the way, they could beat Tennessee. Maybe 12-5's in play. I think 11-6 is a realistic. Now, look, things have to hold form. The health of the football team needs to remain intact. I have not lowered the ceiling for this team. I'm not as distraught about what happened at the end of the year. I'm finally getting over it. It took a while. I think our quarterback is better than maybe a bunch of people think, and I think our football team's ceiling is still in the 11-12 win range. Let's just do it, though. You got to pull it off. I don't feel like I don't think I had to go sunshine pumper there to get to 11. Maybe the win at the Bill. 2-2 in the first 4. Okay, that could cost me. Maybe they go 1-3. That's still 10-7, E.
I like the way you think.
Colts at home, Bears, New England back-to-back. Those sound like 3 wins to me. I don't feel like I'm reaching there. Green Bay at home, Philly on the road. That sounds very splittable to me. That doesn't seem like a reach. Minnesota at home, that feels like a win. At the Lions feels like a loss. Houston and Tennessee, we've determined we're going to give you a split on both. The Jets at home feels, and I even did this, Jets at home, Raiders on the road. I'll give you a split there. With those splits, without counting every up-in-the-air game as a win, I got them to 11-6. I think we should be more optimistic about the upcoming season than we are.
Yeah, I like it.
Now the fun part of seeing how it plays out, what other roster moves are yet to be made, how much we learn about the future of the stadium. And at this point, it's really about where do they play that one lost season, right? And that all we're down to now, E, when it comes to it looks like the deal is going to go through, thankfully.
Yeah, it looks like it's really already done for real. That's what it feels like.
Well, here's Mark Lamping yesterday at the community meeting over there in Mandarin, where I heard for the most part it was very agreement, pro stadium, pro Jaguars. But, yeah, it just feels like the deal is done, even though it's not officially, I dotted and T crossed. Here is a Lamping on the confidence level of, what's in hand.
Well, I'm as confident as I was at the start of the process.
Okay.
Because I knew that we were starting from the right baseline. So my confidence level really hasn't varied through the entire process. Part of that may have been I didn't want my life to be miserable thinking that we weren't going to get this done.
I get it.
Failure really hasn't been an option, so let's just assume that failure is not going to occur. I feel really good because I know we're entering the final phase. Mm-hmm. And we've been at this for years. And now we have a chance, which we think is a really good proposal. Shad wanted to ensure we gave it our best shot to make sure it happened. We've done that. And, in a matter of months, we'll have resolution.
Right, so that's where it looks like we're headed, and all that entails. And it feels like, okay, now, man, it feels like we're getting the starter's gate a little bit more now, doesn't it, E.T.? I mean, we know where we know where this season takes us from the first game to the 17th. We've had a draft. We've gone through free agency. Is there still going to be some, roster maneuvering here at this late date? You bet there is. Sure there will be. Of course. Man, if Jag fan really wanted to complain about our lot in life and use the market size as your example and your basis, it would be completely understandable with these facts, these numbers. All right? This is where the unfairness, I think, steps in. The big market bias is bullcrap. It is. The NFL has gone far enough now. The Jets are not more valuable than the Jags. People watch the NFL. If the Jets are playing the Cowboys, just as many people would watch the Jags playing the Cowboys that will watch the Jets. The Giants playing Washington is not going to get any more viewers than Cleveland playing Washington. The NFL is the king. It's not about the individual brand names anymore, and it's certainly not about market size. Market size does not matter in today's society. We're one big market between cable and internet and social media to, relegate and limit things to like just the New York area. It's silly. But this kind of pounds home the unfairness. And if you're in Carolina and you're sitting there with 0 primetime games, you probably feel this even more. We know this from all our years. We had years where we got shut out when you didn't have to have one. And the other years, we were always just the obligatory Thursday night game, usually against a division opponent and some throwaway time slot. Since 2019, the Jets and Giants, neither of whom have been very good. Since 2019, the Jets and Giants are 3-26 in primetime games. in the last 5 years, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, they put the Jets and Giants on, who picking the top 10 every year seemingly. They have put them on 29 times, an average of 5 times a year for the Jets and Giants. The Jets in those games have gone 1-11. The Giants in those games have gone 2-15. The two programs are last in all of the NFL in points per game on prime time. The Jets average 16, the Giants 15. And this year, those two sad sack top 10 drafting franchises get 9 primetime home game, not home, 9 primetime games between them, and that does include like Thanksgiving for the Giants at Dallas. That's where it's not fair. It's not fair continuing to shove the Washington-New York Giants rivalry down our throat with a prime. Every year, they treat the NFC East, man, like it's pure gold and the rest of the league is just copper. They treat that NFC East like they think that we all give a darn that Philly and the Giants are playing. They think that we think that's a big game. I don't think the Philly Giants is any more intriguing to me than the Browns Ravens or the Bucks Falcons. It's just a game, man. Give it up with this. It's not even an East Coast bias. There is an NFC East bias that's disgusting. And by the way, Washington and Dallas, these jokers haven't won anything in 30 years. Somebody please get the memo. It's Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. We'll come back, see what's trending, put a wrap on today's program, get you set up for Jaguars today, and more next.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam.
Dang, missed the ball, broke the tee. No worries, I'll just go to golf-t-repair.com and get these babies fixed. Oh, and while I'm on the site, I'll check out the Pro Shop with exclusive apparel designed by Jacksonville for local golfers. Golf-t-repair.com. Don't forget the hyphens. It's the place for golf stuff.
English Premier League Soccer returns this summer. Don't miss your chance to see teams from the biggest league in the world here in Jacksonville as they compete for the first trophy of the season, the Stateside Cup. Be there when English Premier League's Wolves and West Ham take the pitch July 27th at Everbank Stadium, home of the Jaguars. With a series trophy on the line, competition will be fierce. Tickets on sale now as low as $35 at statesidecup.com.
I know you want maximum equity from your home, but you're not quite sure how when it comes time to sell it. I'll tell you how. I'll give you 2 hows, Chad and Sandy. More on that in a second. It's a tougher market now. It means it's crucial to hire the right agents to sell your home to maximize price, and we have been telling you now for years, and why I'm recommending Chad and Sandy Newman at chadandsandy.com. They've got the plan and experience to sell your home fast for maximum cash. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time, but most importantly, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Take Mary in Panther Creek. My dream was to move from my Panther Creek home into a new Del Webb Sweetwater home closer to my family. Chad and Sandy made it happen. They sold my own home in just 14 days, plus they helped me get into my new dream home at the same time. Call the Jacksonville experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy at 414-6200, 904-414-6200, or chadandsandy.com.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing will last 2 to 3 times longer than a shingle roof? If you want a better roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Schedule your free estimate today at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
Add an ace to your Tuesday morning.
The third ace in 4 days.
Brunch with a tour.
Tour news, tips, and inside info.
Brought to you by Clearwater Irrigation and Art of Natural Stone.
8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
All right, sports fans, Hicken here. Let's talk skin. Me, myself, and I, and Beaches Dermatology, are reminding you all, man, wear that sunscreen, right? Got to wear the sunscreen. Why? Because you're outside all the time in this great state of ours that has and is the Sunshine State. So if you're an active parent hanging at the fields in your boat to fish, you like to chill at the beach, wear sunscreen. Because if you don't, there can be some ramifications, short and long term. Skin cancer is not something you want to deal with. So when grabbing the clubs for your tea time, you're gassing up the boat, you're grabbing the chairs for your kids' game, make sure to bring the screen. And if you have any concerns on your body right now, go see my friends, Doctors Boudreaux and Metz, the best in the business at Beaches Dermatology. By the way, they've been taking care of me for decades now. Give Beaches Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, an avocado consultant from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Dave Ortega. Okay, Dave, here's your question. Your house is not bad in the morning, but by the afternoon, your AC can barely keep up, even with the curtains closed. What do you do?
Can I buy a valve?
Not that kind of show, Dave.
Can I spin the wheel?
Yeah, we don't even have a wheel, Dave.
Can I phone a friend? Can I call Bueller?
That's right, Dave. Call Bueller Air and Plumbing to assess your home's airflow and sunlight patterns and let us optimize your air conditioning so that you are cool.
This is the happiest day of my life.
Well, you gotta get out more, Dave.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Come on, admit it. Almost everyone you know seems to be playing pickleball now, right? So whether you just want to learn how to play or you're ready to show off your elite pickleball skills, the Y is the place for you. Visit our brand new McGuire Family Pickleball Center at the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach. 5 top quality outdoor courts and 3 amazing indoor courts where you can learn about dinks, dill ball, falafel, the kitchen, and more pickleball slang at the Y.
Let's go! Don't you dare miss the Jacksonville Sharks calming the storm this weekend. They're going to beat that Sioux Falls storm. You bet. Saturday, May 18th, 7 o'clock at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Let's go! With tickets as low as $15, you're not going to find Saturday family affordable fun anywhere else. Call 904-621-0700 or go to jacksharks.com. Dress as your favorite superhero or villain for the Sharks Superhero Night and help the Sharks smash their opponent. All educators, buy one ticket, get one free. Join us for Shark Fest before the game. 5 o'clock, a pregame party, and rock the tank. Let's go! Don't miss opening night of the season. This Saturday, May 18th, 7 o'clock in the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Be a part of indoor football fun and exciting, non-stop action. Let's go! For tickets as low as $15, call 904-621-0700. And don't forget your cape. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah, I just put 100 down on Amanda Balionis, 14-1 to be Rory's next girlfriend. I don't know if that'll play out that way. We got some moves, man. This looks like a fun one to settle in on at the PGA Championship. They are now underway. Streaming early this morning on ESPN Plus, I guess is what they call theirs. It'll go to some form of television later. I haven't looked yet. I've got ESPN Plus, so whenever I'm able to get to a television, I'll be fine with it. But let's see, Xander Schauffele, 2 under through 4, tied for the lead. The 1-unders include Rory McIlroy, 1 under through 3. Martin Keimer. Cam Smith from here on the First Coast, 1 under through 2 holes. Did I pick Cam Smith?
I think you did.
I think I did too. Victor Hovland is 1 under. Jordan Spieth is 1 under. Tony Finau is 1 under. So there must be a 10 and 1 must be pretty comfortable holes for these guys. A lot of birdies coming out of the gates. Ludwig Oberg is even par through 4. Justin Thomas is even par through 4. And I'm not seeing Tiger Woods here with the evens, which means Tiger has started his unceremonious plummet down the leaderboard. Let's just see if it was a double or a triple or just a bogey. Tiger is 1 over through 3. So if you're riding any sort of Tiger Woods, blast from the past, ghost story of some sort. It's not going to be he barely makes the cut and, tells you, I'm only 9 back, I'm in it. No, you're not. For Tiger Woods to win his next major, he's going to have to be the story. He's going to have to come out while he's still rested and having a great first round. I mean, if Tiger is ever, and I'm not predicting he is anymore, and I did for a while, but I just see now how bad his body is. It's not about, any kind of work that he can put in or any kind of natural innate ability. It's just all about that deteriorating body that he has to use to play golf. So now I no longer think he does. I would think the body would feel better on Thursday than it does Sunday. And so for Tiger to really position himself to capture the world's attention and compete for a major, and, who knows? Phil Mickelson won one at 51. Now, he didn't have all these injuries that Tiger has had. But if he ever does, it's going to be because he shot 63 in the opening round or 64, did something like that. He's not going to be able to come out and shoot a 70 in round 1 and then shoot a 71 in round 2 and be 3 under and tied for 12th, 8 shots back. It ain't going to happen. At least I don't think it is. But 1 over through 3 so far. I mean, the real opposite of last year would be Michael Block. Last year was a Michael Block party, and he's just an old PGA tour, not tour, a PGA club professional. Got in through that route. Stayed in contention all week. He was, a real story. He was on the front page of the leaderboard in the top 5 and maybe even finished 4th or 8th. He was up there fairly close. 5 over through 6. So he made the jump over to YouTube golf, or he's just tooling around with the boys. And it's not going to be a repeat of that Hollywood script from a year ago for Michael Block. All right, E, you want to see what's trending? Oh, I'll take that as a yes.
Number 5.
We mentioned in just a little bit, but Game 6 is tonight. Air 2, Ant-Man take on the Joker tonight. Game 6. Who you got, Jeff?
I'm going to go Ant-Man. I'm going to go with Air 2 making one last stand at home. But I've changed my mind. I think Denver now, with that experience of a champion a year ago, will go out and finish things off. I do think this. I think it's more likely that Denver wins tonight than Minnesota wins the series. So I would be a lot more shocked if Minnesota won in Denver for Game 7 than I would Denver. And here's kind of why. They've been winning these games a little too easy for my liking. I don't know what happened. Rudy Gobert needs to show up, right?
Yeah, he does.
And this Defensive Player of the Year, really? Why is this dude getting 30 every night? Maybe covering.
Right.
So I do think, and I'll root for a Game 7, man. I like the Game 7s. I'll be rooting for the Pacers to send that one to a Game 7. I'll be rooting for Minnesota to send the Denver series to Game 7. So this weekend, when I don't have this morbid 3:30 wake-up time staring ahead of me, I can watch the games.
Number 4.
Netflix will stream its first game on Christmas Day, and it'll feature the Chiefs taking on the Steelers and the Ravens taking on the Texans. I don't think this is going to bring Netflix that influx of customers because pretty much everybody has Netflix.
I was going to say, this kind of takes away, there's always been this fear, and we're not reacting to it as it happens more. But 20 years ago, we used to scream, eventually you're going to have to pay to watch.
Yep.
Eventually you're going to have to pay to watch. And eventually you're going to have to pay to watch. And I know you won't, and now you do.
Yep.
Now you do. Games that used to be on, never mind even cable, over-the-air television. You get some rabbit ears at Walmart, you can watch them. Now you have to sign up for, subscribe to, download, and stream. Your point is this, though. I don't know if the NFL is adding anything. They're sliding this transformation is kind of being slid right under our noses because they're doing it on these formats that many of us have already.
Yeah, exactly. But we're paying for it, yeah.
But we are paying for it. So we're paying for it already. So the NFL's smart. They're like, okay, they can watch our game, and they're not paying for our game. They're already paying for this. We're just putting it there. But there are a lot that I promise you downloaded Peacock. That playoff game was reprehensible. The NFL should be cursed for 10 years for doing that to their fans. But yeah, don't forget on Peacock, they put the Dolphins-Chiefs playoff game last year.
Exclusively on Peacock.
That's weak.
It was.
But Netflix will be Christmas Day. I will say this. It'll get terribly low ratings. Here's why. The Christmas Day games and the Thanksgiving Day games, you know what they are? They're background TV at your family get-togethers.
It is, yeah.
And when you're just turning it on the cable or turning it on the network channel, it's there from the beginning. You may go to grandma. She may not have Netflix. Or you may be either not know how to get to Netflix, or I know you kids say,
You're just going to download
we
it
just
on
watch
Grandma's
it on
TV.
their phones. That's great.
Yep.
Anybody who thinks a phone is as good as my 65-inch, let me know, man. I want to watch it there.
Yep.
But anyway.
Number 3.
Oh, I found this article to be amusing. The most common PIN numbers have been revealed.
Okay.
So I had to take a glance at them.
And is this some of these like letters here? Like they always say, like passwords
Right.
is terrible. And that I'm sure 1, 2, 3, 4 is the number one.
1, 2, 3, 4 is the number one.
Yeah. Y'all are dumb, man.
Right.
Right now, if you're riding around, and odds are you are, based on this
Uh-huh.
penetration of these stats, if your password is 1, 2, 3, 4, do me a favor today, y'all. Change it.
Yes. So,
That's the first thing they're going to throw in there. 1, 2, 3, 4.
right.
Yep, we're in.
Why do we have a password if it's 1, 2, 3, 4? So 1, 2, 3, 4 is number one, followed by 1, 1, 1, 1.
Okay, I've done that one before.
0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2.
You know what I feel like doing today? Doing some pickpocketing.
I know, right?
I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better about my chances with people's debit cards, their ATM card, their credit card. Just go with 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 1, 2, 1, 2. If it doesn't work, say, it hadn't been working lately,
Right.
and then run.
Yeah. Something's wrong with this
Put
thing.
on that
Just run.
put on that COVID mask. Some goofballs still walking around with those things on. Put that on, and you can obscure yourself.
Followed by 7777.
Okay.
1004. 2000. 4444. 2222. And 6969.
6969 for the younger crowd.
Yeah.
I see what I'm surprised 420's not on there.
I know, right?
420.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Number 2.
So recently, actually earlier this week, I got the pleasure to host the Clay County Sports Awards, Jeff.
Nice.
On this past Monday evening. But I have aspirations. I would love to host the ESPYs.
I'm sure you would.
And the reason I say that
This just in, so would I.
The reason I bring that up because it's been announced who's hosting the 2024.
Was it Peyton last year that did it? I think Peyton Manning maybe did it last year.
I think it was Peyton.
Are they going back to an actor/celebrity, or are they going with athlete?
Athlete.
Okay. Is it?
Yeah, I like this. Who do you think it is?
Okay. Now it's probably going to be an ESPN. Personality. How about McAfee?
Oh, that's a good guess.
They're trying to distance themselves from him a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe
they
not.
are.
What about the newest addition, Jason Kelsey?
Nope. That would have been a good one,
What
too.
about Ryan Clark? No, he's not even with them, right? They fired him, didn't they?
Yeah, so no, he's
Well, I
not
saw
with
RG3 got booted, by the way.
Dang.
Yeah, RG3 gone.
I'll give you this. Female athlete.
Oh, female athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Retired.
Rapinoe?
Nope.
Thank God. Kari Lloyd?
No.
What sport?
As soon as I say the sport, you're gonna know.
Okay. Is it a
strong?
What now?
She's strong.
She's strong, like you like her.
No,
she's just a strong
powerful,
athlete.
Yeah, powerful.
My God, I don't know.
She has a sister.
Oh, Serena.
Serena Williams.
All right, that makes sense. That's a good one. We'll check out her sense of humor. Serena once was serenaded at an ESPYs years ago by Jamie Foxx with "I Want to Be Your Tennis Ball."
Yeah. he did. I like when Jamie. He did it twice, didn't he?
He was very good.
Yeah, he was real good.
I don't watch the ESPYs. I find it just barely more attractive than the Oscars and the Emmys. Just barely. I think that these guys get enough adoration in their sporting events, in their awards, in the movie theaters, in their box office. I don't need a special night to tell everyone again how great they are. I don't. It doesn't do it for me. I want my guys to show their greatness in Game 7 of the World Series or in the playoffs or anywhere else. I don't care about all getting together for the group hug. But a lot of people like it.
Number 1.
And the number one trending topic, obviously, we touched on this a
Tiger
lot.
has made a birdie. Tiger has made a birdie. He's back to even.
Shout out Tiger Woods, y'all. The NFL released the schedule yesterday. We've been talking about this all morning, and what's most important to us is our Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll be playing in London twice, and our first 4 home games is going to be treacherous. First 4 games in general is going to be it's going to be an uphill climb. But Jaguars, we on deck. We're going to see what we're going to do.
Look, I'm on 11-6. Come on board, baby. 11-6. Got a couple of prime timers. Nothing on Thanksgiving. Back-to-back in London, we've known. They go to Vegas Christmas week. So if you want to spend Christmas in Vegas, the game in Vegas is the 22nd.
And that's what's trending.
It is brought to you this morning by E to the T. How about that?
I like that.
Yeah. By the way, I love people. I just love sports fans. I don't love when people say things that they're wrong on. Like, man, I am so much less than almost all of y'all in some really important ways. Business, smarts, everything. I know more sports than every damn one of y'all. My sports knowledge and IQ is genius level. I've spent way too much time for way too many years cultivating that. I'm not necessarily proud of it. I don't say that with great vanity. I say that as your fearless, sports knowledgeable leader. So you can't say things like Air One never needed a Game 7 because you sound like a dolt. If you want to say, did Air ever need a Game 7? Or, Ant has the, Jordan famously, but no, you do it with your little persnickety, smart-ass way, don't you? Guess what, genius? Michael Jordan played 3 Game 7s in his career. So put that back in your textbook, and I'll let you retake the test next week. It's a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday on The Drill.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here. Get your motor running.
Let's go racing.
It's NASCAR's All-Star Race at North Wilkesboro Speedway, Sunday night. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
Come in, Linda. Over.
We've got a sea of new vehicles and they're priced so low they're rocking the boat. Come check out our biggest selection of inventory with the best prices and our wow-ya experience that will ensure smooth sailing for your next car purchase. Plus, take advantage of our peace of mind warranties, transparent pricing, and free oil changes with every purchase. You better beat the surge and head to Beaver Toyota St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville for the best car buying experience.
Hey, certainly facing some interesting economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but comforting for me to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'm not an expert when it comes to investing, higher interest rates, 401ks, SEP IRAs. You tell me. I found guys I can trust, and I know I trust them because as I move closer to retirement, my money grows, and that's because of Chris Bryant, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. And not just me, from Junie Bug to Drew, 3 generations of Hickens invest at ITP Partners, and they listen and give us each individualized strategies where our goals are the priority. Financial need or question, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 312-9751. That's 312-9751. ITP Partners, my financial partners for life.
There's a name you can trust when it comes to servicing your AC system. Bold City Heating and Air, a family-owned Jacksonville company focused only on the local community. And since the extreme summer temperatures are almost here, schedule your summer maintenance today with Bold City Heating and Air. Don't be fooled by the out-of-towners, equity firms, and national corporations that use local names. Trust the AC company born in the Bold City. That's boldcityac.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Flooring. You've heard us rave about Lifetime Enclosures. Now let's talk about Lifetime Flooring. I can tell you firsthand, the products and services, the best in Jacksonville. As you know, updating your floors is one of the most dramatic changes you can make to your home. Call the experts at Lifetime Flooring now and ask about their buy one room, get one room free promotion through Memorial Day. 0% financing available to meet any budget. Visit their beautiful showroom just off Phillips Highway and tell them Prosser sent you.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Clayton, I know you're the head diamond buyer at Underwoods, and you travel to the markets to buy diamonds. Why don't you just look at an emailed list and have them send you the diamond?
Frank, there are a couple of reasons we go straight to the source when we're selecting the diamonds we want to put the Underwood name on. First, as an expert diamond buyer, I have to see a diamond before I can really judge its beauty versus the price it's being offered at. Second, When we're at the source, we have huge selections to choose our diamonds from, so we don't have to compromise the Underwood quality standard. The result is we control what goes into our diamond stock instead of allowing a diamond dealer to send us what he wants us to have. The bottom line is we're able to offer our customers carefully selected, beautiful diamonds that we're proud to have carry the Underwood name.
Underwood's, serving excellence since 1928 in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
A bucket of balls and free advice from PGA pros. Brunch with the Tour. What's this about? Dan, Jeff, and PGA Tour insiders.
It's a bit simplistic, but basically correct.
Brought to you by Clearwater Irrigation. 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
It's wins, losses, and predictions all day on 1010XL. Today's review of the NFL schedule is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, and Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
This is Joe C. from XL Primetime and stoked to crank up the 9 after 5 once again at the Golf Club of Southampton. Every Wednesday, a little after 5, the gang at Southampton will be hosting us with a new game, and I'm inviting you to be a part of it. Now, through the summer stretch, break up the week with a little hump day fun every Wednesday. Call 287-PLAY to get on the tee sheet. There'll be food afterwards and prizes, including playing for a membership at the Golf Club of Southampton. Call 287-PLAY and hit the tee with Joe C.
What's changed totally inside and out? The Kuhn Flowers massive storefront, and yes, they've totally remodeled the showroom inside too. This is Frank Frangie, and the next time you drive by, stop and smell the roses at Kuhn Flowers.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Let me tell you.
My man, listen, y'all want to know what either Dan or I walk around either humming or get stuck in our head? Just listen to the bump music coming back. My man.
It's all about producing, baby.
Sneaky that way. Yeah, I don't even know where I got this song from. Is it on maybe here's usually where I get the earworms. I get them in the with the commercial. When they become a commercial jingle because they're on all the daggum time.
Yeah.
I mean, See My Little Boo thing has been around. I never hummed it once, but it's on one of these commercials now that's running, right?
Yeah, it gotta be.
Man, you all know it would be a really good summer for me if the Hawks could trade Trae Young. And I'm not saying Trae Young's terrible. I'm not. I'm tired of Trae Young. Somebody else can have him for 4 or 5 years. He's going to have some moments that are like crazy, but overall, he's a ball hog that can't shoot great. And I don't care what his numbers are, his percentages. I'm telling you, watching the game after game after game, we have a 5'11" dude that can't play defense and chucks the ball from everywhere, even though he only hits 30-something% of them. I can't stand another season of Trae Young basketball. I'm just sick to my stomach that they drafted Luka Doncic and traded it for Trae Young and another player. It is the most illogical move in history. Now we got a number 1 pick in Atlanta, And by the way, I said Zach Edey, I'd be okay. And then one of the basketball fans on the text line said that, no, he's not athletic enough. That's the thing with Edey and why he's shooting up. His athletic numbers, running the court, everything else, are right on par with the 19-year-old French guy, Alex Sarr. So, and I say that because two of the real risers at the Combine for NBA prospects have been Dalton Knecht of Tennessee and Zach Edey of Purdue. Well, what do you know? Two of probably first and second player of the year voting this year. Maybe it'll actually translate. Anyway, back to Trae Young. I think the Hawks are trying to deal him. San Antonio would seem to be a logical spot, yet we get this. The Spurs have, quote, little interest in acquiring the Hawks star. I don't blame them. Why would I want Trae Young? Why? I don't need that to just hijack my emerging, evolving young player, Victor Wembanyama. I don't need him getting X amount less touches because this guy has to shoot it from the Spur logo. I don't think he's a max player. He's on a max deal. If they are looking to trade him, the Spurs have been mentioned as a destination. But according to some NBA reporters, the Spurs, who have the number 4 and 8 pick in this draft, which makes them a logical partner for the Hawks. Why? This is a down draft. I'd rather have 4 and 8 than 1. I'll trade you 1 for 4 and 8. Let's do that. Because then I can take Edey and Knecht. You're going to be scared to take one of those. I do not want to take this 19-year-old French kid, Alex Sarr. And maybe it's a mistake, and I'll be the Hawks GM that passes over Chris Paul for Marvin Williams or anywhere else. That'll do it to it for us. It's been a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.
The Drill on 1010XL from the studios of